talking like Charlie Kirby's talking about. Like, I don't agree with those things. I don't agree with their viewpoints. Ben Shapiro, bro.
I understand, but then why do you support the pro-Israel candidate out of all of them?
I support Trump not just for those reasons. It was many other reasons why. But
like,
just because I support Trump doesn't mean it's 100% on everything. I do differ on things, but overall, I still support the president.
Okay, why?
I'm liking the way that the country is going right now. Everything that I voted for is pretty much being implemented besides this list, and we're pushing for that still. So I haven't
everything. Like, can you name some things? Let's hear it.
That he's done as far as like okay, I'd say like the border situation. That was like my number one issue.
Name a border policy.
Now they're being illegal aliens being detained. I'll say that now.
I'm just asking what policy is that?
What policy is that? I don't know, Parker. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, so can you name something that Trump did in order to change the process at all?
Put Tom Homan back in. Get the ICE people at the border actually doing their jobs more.
I'd say so. Like, apparently, there's some policy to get ICE to do their jobs more. Like what? Are you saying they increased funding? Because the funding that they increased to is of greater levels than Israel spends on their entire military. I just want to let you know.
I mean,
we're spending more on ICE than Israel spends on their entire military.
If you think that illegal immigration was like a huge issue, then maybe the funding was necessary.
Well, undocumented immigrants who haven't committed violent crimes and bad crimes are not a threat to this country. And the fact that we're spending law enforcement resources on deporting people who are literally not committing violent crimes or bad crimes and are just fucking working is absolutely despicable. Law enforcement has a fucking enough on their plate.
Is it a crime to come into the country?
Can I please finish speaking? Law enforcement has enough to deal with, specifically in terms of people who are murdering people, who are raping people, who are assaulting people. Let them deal with the people who are specifically doing that, rather than specifically trying to deport.
Doing that?
Oh my God! Listen, what did I just say?
Are they not doing that though?
Shut the fuck up!
They're doing that. Emotional. It's exactly what they are doing.
I think you're not listening, and you miss what he said. You were immediately trying to respond instead of listening to the point that he made. He made a very specific point. He said that shouldn't they be able to focus on those things without being overtaxed with the addition of targeting undocumented immigrants, which, yes, the law enforcement, specifically if you want to talk about like in LA, right? LA, the LAPD had been tasked with assisting with these ICE raids, and it has taken away from the ability to actually respond on a normal basis for the everyday American that live in LA. So that's his point. They're pulling away from the additional. They're putting more on those local police forces. Where, let's be honest, I mean, like, police forces already, they're not the best trained. They're overtaxed in multiple ways. Like, we shouldn't be adding additional things onto them when they're not doing their job at a high proficient level anyway.
Yeah, they're already dealing with too much of things that they shouldn't be dealing with. Specifically, right, we need more social workers that we're investing in, like they do in other countries, to deal with situations in which law enforcement with a fucking gun shouldn't be dealing with, realistically. That they're not even equipped to deal with because they don't specifically have the education to deal with. So again, there are plenty of things that police officers shouldn't be dealing with, and this is one of them. They should not be deporting people who haven't committed violent crimes or bad crimes. They shouldn't be fucking focusing on that at all. They should be focusing on the people who are murdering people. They should be focused on the people raping people. They should be focused on the people like Donald Trump that are a fucking threat to this country. The people beating police officers that Donald Trump pardoned. That's who, right? Law enforcement should be dealing with, right? Donald Trump and the people that he pardoned, not specifically undocumented immigrants who are just working for a better life in this country. It's actually fucking despicable.
I just seen ICE getting beat up by somebody, and there's a couple of things going on in LA, the same way you just described. Police and all this stuff getting attacked. I just seen ICE getting attacked.
Wait, do you understand?
Did we pardon them? I'm confused. Were Democrats pardoning those people? Please tell me. Did the president of the United States call for them to be pardoned? No. You're just, dude, I'm confused what the fucking comparison is. Donald Trump specifically is the one pardoning and releasing them into the country.
I hear you. I hear you, Parker.
But let me just say this, because you made the point about, you saw ICE being attacked. Like, you do understand that they're using like these these tactics where they're going in, they're not identifying themselves, they have their face covered, they're running in and literally kidnapping people, just snatching people up.
I've not seen that at all.
Yeah,
Santana.
it's
I've seen them
super
with
visible.
uniform on. I've seen them with visible
They're not.
ice,
They're not.
visible ice vest.
They're
coat.
not. With these ice
I've
raids,
seen
they're
it.
going in. Not only are they going in unmarked vehicles, but they're not actually identifying themselves. They're covering their faces, and it's actually leading to things where people are bad actors are actually doing the same thing as far as like covering their face and saying they're ICE, and they're
I
actually
don't agree with
kidnapping
that.
people. And yeah, they're literally kidnapping
Yeah, I don't
women
like
and trying
that.
to grape. Yeah, but what I'm saying
But
is that the tactics that are being used by ICE right now under the Trump administration is leading to not only more confusion, but it's putting people in jeopardy. And
I
so
understand that, but also at the same time, I feel as though a lot of these raids, they're not initially targeting just like Parker trying to see the guy working so hard. There are people, there are criminals in those places, and sometimes like obviously there's like a bunch of people maybe in those homes or in like a
how do you
place of
think they
business.
hey how do
And
you think did you see all the raids they did on like the construction sites and the
yeah, I've
farms?
seen a few of those. I
How do you
have
think they knew undocumented immigrants were there?
maybe some type of tips or something.
No,
I'm not sure how
no.
they know. Like,
They literally pulled the IRS record to see where undocumented immigrants have been paying taxes, and they
is that the
specifically targeted those areas by using that IRS data to target those undocumented immigrants. They're going after the
okay?
ones
So
that are not only working but paying into the United States.
so you're saying because somebody who is illegal that pays, they shouldn't have to abide by the policy of
Undocumented immigrant. I'm
deportation?
saying if you want to
Yeah,
actually address
undocumented.
the real issue, then maybe you should actually create a pathway to citizenship so these people that are paying into our country get the actual benefits, or two,
I
how
think Trump
about you
just
actually
says
quote unquote target the bad people like you said you were going to do, which that's not what he's doing.
Also, Donald Trump is disincentivizing undocumented immigrants to pay into the system because they're funding them through paying into the system. So again, people who are literally trying to help our system by paying into it, he wants to limit from doing that.
yeah, they're paying into the system while also sending 90% of their money back home. They have no interest in this country, brother. I don't even know if you deal with foreigners or anybody like that. Most of them who I deal with send money home all the time. They have no investments here.
I'm
They
sorry.
come
I'm
here
sorry.
and
Do you have an issue with
pay a
like say
couple
people living in
taxes.
the United States
And yeah, they
sending?
pay a few
I have a
taxes.
question. Let's say someone watches a streamer in a different country, right? Is it wrong for them to send money to that streamer?
No,
If they consistently do that, is it wrong?
I don't believe it's wrong. Is there something
Okay,
wrong?
so then why would it be wrong for immigrants to do it?
That doesn't even compare, Park. That wasn't good.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's-
Instead, they're giving it to their family.
Family, yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're not interested here, bro. They're not trying to invest in
hell,
make
wait,
generations.
They
hold on,
are.
even-
They're investing so much into this country. Stop acting like they're not.
They send so much
But
back.
listen, wait,
Stop
even if
acting
that's
like they're
true,
not.
even if that's true, right? What about the amount that they're paying into the system that they do not get to recoup in any way,
Nobody.
shape, or form?
So do
Like
you?
the
So
wait, no, hold on, just think about it for a second. You're saying they're
okay.
sending money back home, but they literally pay billions of dollars every year in taxes, and they don't benefit any. They can't get any of those taxes back. They can't claim any of the social safety nets that you get from said taxes. They're literally leaving billions of dollars on the table. But you're saying that they're sending money home? Like
That's the cost of doing things illegally. If I went into some country and I just I had the ability to work and I paid into the taxes, I'm not going to cry about all my people putting billions into the economy. That's just what it is. It's still illegal.
And exactly. No, you're the one that's crying about it though. Like the amount of money that you said that they're sending home does not equate to
I'm
the
not
amount of money
crying.
that they're putting
It's
in.
not it's not the problem. It's just like the moral investment. Like I'm not worried about the amount. It's just the fact that most come here with the intention just to get the money, use the system, and roll out.
I'm sorry. You say most? Give me a fucking single data point on that. Give me a single one. You have nothing. You fucking pulled that out of your
You
ass.
give me something.
No, yeah,
Parker.
you're the one who fucking claimed something. I didn't claim shit. You claim something,
Oh.
provide a fucking source. Give me any level of evidence, because all you fucking have is trust me, bro. Please fucking trust what I just told you on the live stream.
Parker,
Give
this
me a
is-
damn
this is-
source.
this
Give
is
me
a
fucking
well-known-
evidence instead of
I
just
don't
assuming
need-
things about immigrants coming to the country because you want to
not
fucking
assuming,
dehumanize
I'm
them because you
witnessing.
support Donald Trump's fucking shit.
There's many people that witness it. It's not just me assuming.
It's not.
You
but
are
what,
assuming.
What Parker is saying that you've been propagandized, friend. Like you're literally just repeating points that you've heard. But to Parker's point, there's no actual evidence to support the things that you're saying. That's the problem.
Okay, so give me some evidence of what you're saying, as that the foreigners, that they don't send money home by the billions as much as they pay taxes.
Well, I
and
never
shit. It
said that.
happens
It's an
all the
issue for
time.
them to do that. So I'm not claiming any certain level of how much people give back to other countries.
Is
Yeah,
that an
and
issue,
I
though,
didn't-
Parker?
Okay,
I
how
didn't
about this? How about you make a comparison between United States citizens and undocumented immigrants? But you didn't do that. You don't know have any of this information. That would be relevant
No, I don't
information
have the
for you to make this
numbers.
claim in the first place. None of us are making this claim. You are. You
I
have to
might not
have
have the
stuff to justify
numbers,
your own
but
position
no, you're right. I might not have the numbers and like the policy and stuff like that, but
or any
yeah,
argument.
I do. Yeah.
And just to be clear, I'm not telling you that I know the exact number as far as how much money is being sent back, but I'm saying that the amount that they're putting into our system versus getting out has to offset any amount that they're able to, because undocumented immigrants, the reason why they work these jobs the way they do is because they're quote unquote getting paid under the table. So they work for lower rates, period. So even if you talk about the amount of money that they're sending home,
Wait. So they can be taxed on lower rates?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
that's the reason why these companies.
I've never
and
heard
these
of
people take-
anybody being paid under the table and being taxed.
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
Yeah, they pay them at lower rates. That's why they actually do this. See, this is why, like, if you're really serious about undocumented immigrants and how this actually works, you would go after the companies and everyone, those type of people that exploit them.
I agree
In
with you.
2022, undocumented immigrants paid more into federal, state, and local taxes than they specifically sent back home.
Where is this at? Let me pull my laptop out then. Yeah, no, I mean, end of the day, you don't know that, and that's most likely.
Yes, what they sent home. I got from AP News. Here's $63 billion, right? How much they
That's
spend
what
in
they said.
taxes? How much they spend in taxes? Right, or they paid in taxes $100 billion. So way more than they're sending home.
But is that
and that's after an increase. I pointed to 2023. From 2022, it was 58.9 billion that was sent back. So 58.9 billion in 2022 sent back, 100 billion paid in federal, state, and local taxes. They paid more in taxes than they sent back, and you're sitting here fucking whining.
Not whining about it.
You
I'm
are
just telling
whining.
you, there's no, like, you guys are acting like somebody can come in somewhere and they're like paying the taxes a punishment, like we're doing something bad to them. That's just part of the program. We all have to pay taxes. Like,
That's
you don't,
not
that
what
doesn't
we're
count
saying.
for
We're-
anything.
If you want them to pay
That doesn't
taxes,
count though, guys.
Wait,
That
wait,
doesn't
wait,
count for any points.
Sorry,
Like,
Santana, say what you were gonna say.
No, I was just about to say, like, you're not understanding what we're trying to convey. Like, that's not our point. Our point is these people, not only should we focus on the human element because they're humans, no matter how much the Trump administration tries to dehumanize them, we need to also focus on the fact that they add so much to our country. And I know I have, like, people on the left advocate for legal pathways to citizenship. Let's make it easier. Let's get them in the country and get them a part of our country instead of actually vilifying them and spending millions or billions of dollars on trying to deport them when it's going to hurt us in so many different ways. You're muted.
yeah, I get it. End of the day, we're not seeing eye to eye because you guys are more on the moral and the emotional aspect of it. We're trying to get jobs back and bring funding back to local
But
people.
can you tell me how, like, your position, how is that going to be beneficial at all? Like,
Okay,
seriously.
so how is that going to be beneficial? Get all the low people who are accepting lower wages up out the way, so my people can slide in and get the
Who
regular.
is your
wage
people?
back. Who's my people? Regular
Yeah.
average Americans who don't barely have jobs. That's my
Yeah,
people.
wait, you do understand that when you talk about black people in America, we're not
I never
those
said
people
black.
that
I never said black.
you said African Americans.
I never mentioned race once. I said I said the average American. I
thought you said African Americans. I'm sorry, I apologize. I thought you said African Americans.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning race at all. The average American
you said
would love
that's why I
having-
said who is your people. I'm confused. My bad. I thought you were specifically like so you think that the average American wants to work these quote unquote
I do.
low pay.
I
Okay,
do.
how many jobs are open like right now? Do you know how many jobs available we have in America?
I don't know the number, but just from like anecdotal experience, it's looking like a little bit less right now. harder to get jobs for people?
Well, I mean, yeah, Trump kind of fucked some stuff up, but
Well, it's gonna
prior
get
there were
bad
about,
before
I
it
think
gets
there were
better.
like 8 million jobs open. The point that I'm trying to make is there's plenty of jobs, but when you open up these actual, have you ever worked on a farm?
Actually, yeah, I have not like
Cool.
full time, but I have before.
Okay, cool. You know how taxing that is to actually work on a farm. Do you
Yeah,
think the average everyday American wants to actually do that type of labor?
we would love to if we can get paid to do it. Trust me, we would love to. Right now, the economy's so bad. Do you not think somebody would go on a farm right now and get it in if they're being paid what they deserve to do that? Of course they would. Of course they would.
This is the last thing I'll say, and Parker, I'll give it back to you. Like the point is, if we actually focused on improving our country in multiple ways, right? If we actually took the money and if we could put money into our educational system and our math, our science, our STEM programs, and actually help people get ahead of this AI bubble that we're
Yes,
like
sir.
on the precipice of, then we can focus on innovation and actually being, ahead of the curve here in the US, instead of people saying, oh, we need to actually, have textile factories, or we need to be working, in the fields. Where, like, we could
I get
actually be
it.
an innovative country instead of focusing on those other positions. That doesn't make
No,
sense.
no, I get it. We can do both. Like, why can't like everybody doesn't want to do
You
AI
can't do
and
both.
IT? We
You
can.
can't.
We have a
Your country can't be geared to both of those things.
no,
You
no.
can't have a country geared towards
We only
agriculture and technology.
no. You can. We can have a base of people. It doesn't have to be all agriculture. Like you said, if we get the pathway to
Yeah,
citizenship,
I think he means I think we were talking about priority here, right? You can't
okay,
prioritize
all right.
both of them at the same time, right? You prioritize one over the other because it is the case that we're referencing, like literally continuing, right, and trying to produce things, right? Trying to focus on like what our production is. We want to focus on technology rather than focusing on specifically, right, like forcing Americans back into certain types of industries in which they,
Okay.
historically speaking, right, haven't worked in, right? That's we don't want to force Americans into certain conditions.
We were
We want
we
to
were
help
pushed
them and boost them up to working conditions in which they would like to. And that's for every American, including immigrants, by the way. So here, I have a few things I wanted to address. One, if you want undocumented immigrants to pay more taxes, give them a pathway to citizenship, and they seriously will pay more taxes. For undocumented immigrants who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes, if you give them a pathway to citizenship, there will be more taxes paid, point blank, period.
I agree with you.
Secondly, I can reference the Congressional Budget Office. They actually indicated that there was going to be a near 9 trillion increase, right, specifically in the economic growth by 2034, specifically just by the undocumented, the immigrant surge since the Biden-Harris administration. So a lot of Republicans specifically say like the immigration surge was so bad, it was harmful towards our economy. Actually, it was incredibly, really beneficial towards our economy. And then thirdly, you said Trump's bringing back jobs in the United States. Not only has unemployment increased since Trump became president, under his first administration, there was a net increase in unemployment under his administration from when he got in office to when he left, right? And it is the case that we can point to specifically his manufacturing investment. It net declined under his administration, and it was on a trend down the entirety of the administration. Whereas under the Biden-Harris administration, we saw a massive increase relating to the specific policies that they supported. And then thirdly, right, you said people accepting lower wages out of the way. To give them a
Yeah.
pathway to citizenship, they wouldn't be accepting wages lower than the context of minimum wage because they wouldn't be at threat of deportation.
I agree with that. I mean, okay, but Parker, I don't know. You got all these numbers in front of you and these facts. Man.
I
You
have
got
no.
these
Wait, by the way,
facts.
I have no numbers, nothing in front of me. The only thing in front of me right now is literally me on TikTok on this one, me on YouTube on this one, and then I was writing down notes. I wrote down literally, if you want them to pay taxes, give them a pathway to citizenship, not bringing back jobs to the U.S., and people accepting lower wages out of the way. Like those are things just to keep me on track, specifically with what you're referencing.
All right. So my thing, what you said with the manufacturing, you said Biden administration had more, something like that. Was that the Build Back Better?
There was Build Back Better. There was the American Rescue Plan. There was the Bipartisan
Okay.
Infrastructure Bill. There was the Chips and Science Act. There was
Okay.
the Inflation Reduction Act.
Okay. So none of that stuff, like, did you see any of those things manifest like in your life at all?
Yes.
During
Yes.
the Biden? Build Back Better. You seen that?
Yeah.
Much more infrastructure, manufacturing jobs, and things
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you guys see these things on paper.
No, what it is we actually see it because we understand how it's a targeted approach, and plus it's over a 10-year period. But then you see places like Texas specifically. Texas infrastructure, excuse my language, is shit, right? But even with the amount of money that the Biden-Harris administration put into Texas, even Greg Abbott had to come out and say that there was so many massive improvements to the Texas infrastructure. He didn't say that it was because of the infrastructure bill because he didn't want to give them credit, but he came out touting how much money that was put into the infrastructure to help improve Texas. And even if you're interested in finding out where these actual places are that the infrastructure bill has benefited, there's a site you can go online and you can see all the different places around the country that haven't benefited from the infrastructure bill. It's greatly improved the country as a whole.
Okay, respect due on that. I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say right now. I'm looking stuff up right now because I'm trying to find something to defend myself. So going back to what Parker was saying with the bringing Americans back to like old medieval jobs, do you think that those jobs did we want to give them up, or we were forced to give them up through like mass immigration and things like that?
I'm saying specifically the types of jobs that undocumented immigrants are working are jobs that are specifically not profitable at the level of minimum wage that we have here in the United States. And that's why typically it's being offshored to undocumented immigrants in the country because they work for below minimum wage. So it's profitable for undocumented immigrants to do that labor, but it's not profitable for American citizens to do that labor because it is the case that, again, there are minimum wage standards, right? Once there are minimum wage standards, those types of jobs specifically are not profitable to operate. And that's why oftentimes in those types of circumstances, they will be either automated out of existence, right? Or, or there will be something specifically in terms of like, we'll just like lose that supply and we'll have to get it from other countries, our allies or the such.
So if they're going to be automated out, then don't you think the new migrants or immigrants coming in are going to just be phased out within a few years then? From the job from the exact job.
Any undocumented immigrant coming to the country that's going through the process of pathway to citizenship is treated the same as any legal immigrant. And legal immigrants provide for the economy.
I mean, like the job sector. You're putting them into the medieval jobs, like you just said. But
I never said medieval jobs. But.
All right, yeah, with the old jobs that the Americans don't want. In a few years, like you just said, the AI and the technology is going to push them right out. So what's the benefit?
I said it will lead towards that specifically if it is the case that that labor is not fulfilled, right, by undocumented immigrants currently within the context of the economy.
Even if it is fulfilled.
And also, wait, you do understand if we give them a pathway to citizenship and they start to quote unquote phase out these medieval jobs, like you said, if they have a pathway to citizenship, then they get access to all the benefits of being citizens so they can grow with us as a country. They don't have to continue to work those quote unquote jobs that are being phased out. Like we can all grow together while being it'll benefit us in present day and in the future.
Okay, so then who becomes the agricultural sector then? Like, because you just said we need two things to grow. You need technology and agriculture. So then who's going to be the next ones for that?
No, well, I didn't say
first time I got you guys speechless.
No, you
repeat the question. I want you to repeat the question. I seriously didn't. Okay, I didn't. So I was trying to remember the question. I didn't.
All right. So, all right, Americans right now we're working as technology, AI, things like that. We're trying to advance, like you said. We have the immigrants that are needed for agriculture. Once they become the pathway to citizenship, they don't want to do those type of jobs. Who's going to do those jobs then?
So again, I just described to you that those jobs specifically would probably either be automated away, right, or they would be outsourced to other types of countries around the world because it is the case that those types of jobs that are being fulfilled, right, are jobs that are not profitable at the specific wages that we would expect in terms of minimum wage standards, right? That we would typically see, all right. In many of scenarios. And that's not to say every job is that way. There are plenty of jobs that people will still continue, right? And will still get paid even at the minimum wage, even if it's profitable at the minimum wage. But I'm just saying that there's a significant amount of jobs that specifically would just lead to like automation, right? Or it would specifically lead to like it being outsourced to other countries.
And even when you talk about those jobs and automating those jobs, it still lends itself to being able to grow and develop with those jobs because certain people have to still be in place to actually help guide that automation. And so you give those immigrants an opportunity to still grow and work and develop as we automate things. So just because we're moving towards more of an automated system that benefits us doesn't mean that we're leaving them behind. Like it just means that, again, as a whole, as a country, we're all growing. It benefits us today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and also like this is to say that this happens under the context of a situation where you're arguing for mass deportation and undocumented immigrants particularly are not fulfilling that labor. The specific same condition would occur, right? Except for I'm specifically advocating for conditions in which will lead to there being more people who are not exploited, right? Whereas you're advocating for conditions where undocumented immigrants will choose to stay in conditions in which will harm them because they don't want to be deported. Right, they'll still choose to get wages that are below minimum wage because they don't want to be deported. Because again, it's literally preferable to them to be exploited over deportation.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, I get you're right, but end of the day, I think that the option for Americans should be open where we can be able to have these jobs at any time and they're available for us without having to fight and all this unemployment and things like that and
Wait,
squeeze in.
I just want to let you know, undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants do not cause there to be more unemployment. Not only do they add productive services for the economy, but they increase the specific demand for labor.
So
Right.
you don't
So I just want to let you know they increase the amount of jobs that would exist.
so you don't think that in I don't know the town in Ohio, but like
Here,
all
Santana, can you respond this quick? I don't know it.
I got you.
1 second.
yeah, all there was a situation I think it was like Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio. Yeah.
It was like a lot of jobs that were being filled by migrants. Do you not think that Americans wanted to fill those jobs as well?
No,
But
no, they didn't. Do you know what was happening in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know exactly, but I know that there
Sure.
was.
Don't worry, I'll tell you. Springfield, Ohio, it was a city that was dying. Like literally, it was one of those towns that were dying off, but they were able to actually utilize a government program that got Haitian migrants to come in. And not only did they come in and save Springfield, Ohio, they revitalized the town. They pumped money into the town and they integrated themselves into the town, bringing additional businesses and saving the ones that were going to get lost. And so much so that not only was the mayor, you know, the governor, the senators, everything in Ohio, they were pissed off at Trump about this because those Haitian migrants literally saved Springfield, Ohio. No, there were no people there that there weren't people to actually fill those jobs, and those Haitian migrants came in, saved that actual town. It saved the place. So no, you're absolutely wrong with that. And then Donald Trump villainized them.
I bet you if we do some investigation into some of those companies, there was probably some type of illegal.
It was a government
money,
program.
Yeah, some type of money grab.
It was a government program.
They were offering less wages.
It was a government program. It was
doesn't matter.
It was regulated by the government. It wasn't some like, oh, you know, it's just this person hiring someone under the table. No. Literally, the government put this in place.
That's the problem. That's the problem, in my opinion. The government is intentionally bringing in other people from other countries to do jobs that America.
It was state level. Why? It was state level governments because Springfield, Ohio, was dying. People were leaving, and their businesses couldn't thrive.
I get it.
So wait. Did you want Springfield, Ohio, to just shut down and become a ghost town? Because that's where they were trending.
No. But if the government has this much funding to go to Haiti and bring random people here, why couldn't they go to a local community? And
people did not want to go to Springfield, Ohio. That's the point.
Because there's no wages probably. They're not paying.
The only people that are willing to migrants want to come in for the pay.
Of course, they don't have anything there. Of course, they'll work for the pay.
Wait. So again, they were invited to go there. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to show y'all the bigger picture. There's jobs that
Donald Trump deported jobs. You know that Donald Trump deported a lot of people that were under legal temporary protected status who were Haitian in the country. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm seeing that right now.
They were legally in the country, and Donald Trump decided to revoke their status.
I'm seeing that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, why is that the case? Especially when they were invited.
Invited by who?
By the community in Springfield, for example.
Literally.
No. The community. I actually watched a documentary. The community was livid.
Not invited by who? You saw a propaganda message by far right-wing fascists that were trying to dehumanize immigrants coming to the country. I just want to let you know the community that existed there asked people to come because there were not people that were working those jobs, and it was harming the economy in the particular region, right? Do not sit there and say that that's true, because that's a propaganda message that you fucking heard from literally fascists that don't want the country to have more immigration because they want to keep a majority of the population white.
I've already told him that, Parker. Like, and that's the point. The citizens went on record and saying that, oh, they love these people. The actual Republican mayor, the Republican governor Like the Republican senators all went on record and said, no, they're here for a reason. They're doing a great thing. They're not, quote unquote, eating the cats and dogs. And these people need to be here. The Republicans said this.
I'm not. You guys are taking it like I'm just so against these migrants.
We're taking it as you're saying stuff without any information.
No. The issue is that you're willing to support someone who's incredibly harmful to them.
Okay.
Or not only that, but you also are actively engaging in rhetoric that clearly speaking, right, is not pro-immigrant and is actually. I don't think. Listen. I don't think you're intentionally doing this. I think you've heard a lot of misinformation about immigrants because they've been constantly scapegoated by conservatives because they specifically can see what is happening with the country and that demographics are changing and they're fucking scared for no reason because they're fucking racist pieces of shit. I'm serious. There are people within the context of Trump's administration that have this in mind, right? Including people like Donald Trump. Literally, I'm serious. I'm not just making this up. I'm not just saying this for no reason. I'm also not saying that this is applicable to every Trump supporter. They don't know that other Trump supporters have this intention, but specifically they are utilizing, right, other Trump supporters' ignorance on the matter, right, specifically to be able to exploit that so that they can continue to have a majority of the population be white in this country. That's explicitly their intention.
All Trump supporters are always ignorant to you guys. That's crazy.
No. I'm saying, yeah, I just want you to know there are ignorant Trump supporters that are being used by other Trump supporters who are white nationalists, who are racists, specifically trying to use other Trump supporters and other people who are supporting Donald Trump and the power that results from that in order to be able to use and exert that power to harm people.
See that's like
hey, just so you know, being ignorant is not a bad thing. Being ignorant just means you don't have the actual information. Now, being willfully ignorant,
I have the information on everything I'm speaking on.
You don't, because
there's American jobs that can be filled.
Sure, can you back up anything? Because listen, you've been speaking from the fifis and your tum-tum, and that's cool. But like, we can pull up actual statistical data to prove everything that we're saying.
All right, let me get my laptop too. Then it's like I can
grab your laptop because what you're saying, there's there's literally no statistics behind what you're saying to prove any of it.
Let's get on to the.
And then also, maybe you should look this stuff up before you argue it.
No, I've looked all these things up. I've looked all of them up.
Okay. Well, how come you didn't know anything about Springfield, Ohio when you started speaking on it?
I'm the one who brought it up, so obviously I did look it up.
No, you didn't, because you didn't know about the government program. You didn't know that it was actually beneficial to the area. You didn't know.
That's fine, but that still doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't affect me because it's like the fact that it's the government, that's the problem.
No, it's the fifis in your tum-tum, bud. It's your feelings. It's your feelings. You're not looking at any facts. It's how it makes you feel. Donald Trump is a populist candidate. You've been propagandized. You don't care about actual information. You care about your feelings.
Yeah, you've just been propagandized. Immigrants are not harming you. They're not hurting you. They're helping our country. And they're actually going to help us maintain benefits for people who are on Social Security, on Medicare, on Medicaid, because it is the case that they have a higher labor force participation rate than natural born U.S. citizens. And as we have a higher percentage of our population that is older on those particular types of services and not working, right? Because it is the case that we have less younger people working to be able to pay for them, right? If we have a higher level of immigration of people who are younger, who are working, right, that can help us specifically maintain the benefits we have without having to cut them in the long run. Because it is the case that Republicans won't increase taxes, right, on rich people.
I got it.
So again, immigration is so fundamental to our economy, and do not buy Trump supporters' arguments that it's harmful to the economy. Take it. Don't even take it from me. If you don't want to listen to me on the left, listen to libertarians on this issue.
Yeah,
libertarians on this issue will say this. The same thing that I'm saying right now, libertarians will tell you. They will tell you there's no economic argument against immigration, right? Seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm not, my thing though is there's American jobs. You guys keep saying that nobody wants to do this stuff in Ohio here and there. Just pay the people what it needs to be done, because the average American with the wages and things like that, they can't even afford the basic life.
So increase the minimum wage, right?
That's what I was just about to say. Go
Okay.
ahead, Parker.
So let's increase the minimum wage, right?
Increase the minimum wage. I mean, I think according to certain places, yeah, like
Ohio, we need to increase the federal minimum wage, because $7.25 since 2009 is fucking ridiculous. You know how much we've lost in terms of prices, essentially, essentially how much your dollar goes for, right? By that time, like
10 cents or something like now.
What?
From a while ago, it's down like 90%. So I get it.
What's down 90%?
I know. Like, I'm just saying that, like, since then, it is the case that we're talking like 30% distinction.
I'm talking about the Santana. I was talking about the spending power of a dollar compared to like a certain years. It's like from $1 to 10 cents now type thing.
So I just
You're
want to
you're
let you know it needs to be. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you
no,
off.
you're good. Go ahead, Parker.
It needs to be adjusted for inflation. Point blank. Period.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the fact that minimum wage is not adjusted for inflation is ridiculous, and it's only a specific thing to serve corporations.
exactly. I mean, but you can
Okay.
look at the fact before Reagan, right? We were trending where the cost of living and the federal minimum wage were aligned, and they were trending upward at the same point. But then Reagan got into office and convinced a bunch of people that trickle down economics actually works, and they stopped increasing the federal minimum wage, started to actually bolster the upper 1%, give those tax cuts and everything. And ever since then, the actual cost of living has continued to trend up, while the federal minimum wage has only ticked up just a little bit. So they're not on a parallel path anymore.
I understand. I understand. Listen, y'all too. I'm not on y'all level at all. So give me some credit for standing up here this long with you. There's nothing more I can really say. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Besides making myself look
we've
dumb.
enjoyed all the feelings that have come out of your tum-tum, but like seriously, but like look up some of this information, because like I'm telling you this, like I've heard the things that you've said, and I promise you, like I'm not saying you're a bad guy or anything, but like I genuinely believe you've been propagandized.
What is?
And I think this might be something you need to hear. We genuinely care about everyone in this country. We're not here to spread some misinformation, some propaganda. I'm here right now because I spent years of my life spreading things that I think to be true and I think to be beneficial for the world. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I do every single day on this live stream. So I know it's hard to trust people, but out of anyone you can trust, I promise you, you can fucking trust me.
I'm not going to trust.
I'm not going to
man.
lie to you. You can say you don't want to trust me. Look up the
I'm
information,
definitely
do the research yourself, and then come back because you'll gain that trust.
No, the research.
I'm not
is
just saying
fine.
trust me, bro. I'm also saying I will gain your trust.
No, the research and all the pinpoints and the facts and the numbers, that's cool. But I'm still America first. I'm still jobs for Americans
Yeah,
first.
and Trump is
I'm
not
still
America first.
Not even
I'm
close.
still bringing the jobs back to America, secure the border. It doesn't
that's-
matter the
but
number.
Listen,
So
you
bring
keep
back jobs
saying
to
that.
America is a ridiculous fucking lie that Donald Trump has propagandized you into believing. Real
watched-
manufacturing investment decreased when Donald Trump was in office, and it actually increased under Trump's administration.
I just
I mean, the
moved
Biden
to-
Harris administration.
So in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they just had this big thing with Trump here, and they're extremely.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to hear what Santana had to say real quick because I keep cutting off Santana because I'm
No, you're good. I was just about to say, like, I mean, you saying that you're America first doesn't make sense when the person that you voted for has done nothing but hurt everyday Americans, whether it's costing people their actual medical benefits with Medicaid, SNAP benefits being lost. They've put this apparently we're on track now. Parker, did you see about 70 million people are going to be affected with the changes they're making to the ACA? And so a lot of people are going to be on track to lose their healthcare benefits under the ACA. You talk about that, the fact that inflation is up, gas is up. Like there's multiple things that are being done that are hurting everyday Americans, and none of this is America first. Real, the floor is yours.
Oh, I muted him.
Yeah. I was letting him know.
So you're talking about cutting off SNAP benefits and things like that, but there's people that's been in their projects for generations and generations. You don't think it's time for them to get up out of there? You don't think they've been abusing the system?
So cool. Wait. Your solution is if there's people who have relied on government. Wait. Hold on. Think about this for a second. Your solution is for people that have relied on government assistance. The best way to actually help them rise above poverty is to cut off their supply to food so they become more impoverished.
No. I don't think anybody's supply of food is being cut off. I just think there's going to be a shortening time limit. There's going to be a shortening time limit where you can finally not depend on the government and stop sucking on the titty of the government to get up.
That makes sense.
Did you go to public school?
Perfect sense.
Did you go to public school?
Unfortunately, yes. I was a fucking baby of all that stuff. Yes.
Okay.
I used all those.
Do you use public roads?
Yes, I do.
Okay. If your house burned down or where you're living burned down, would the firefighters come and stop that from happening?
It's not the same thing. Yes.
So okay. You benefit from the system right? And you think that that isn't you just like, leeching off the system. You just
No,
see it
it's
as everyday. Hold on, let me
I
please
pay
finish.
in. I pay in. Okay, go ahead.
You see it as everyday life, things that benefit you and everyone else, and you pay into them through the context of the tax process. That's the same thing with every other social program that we're referencing. I'm saying healthcare for all. I'm saying universal childcare. I'm saying paid maternity leave and paternity leave. I'm saying, right, like we need to benefit the working class. We need to provide a basic standard of living for everyone so that everyone is treated with dignity, compassion, and respect. Those types of things are bare minimum, right? Don't you agree? Like that's not like I'm asking for too much. I'm
Can I?
not asking for people to have yachts. I'm not asking
All
for
right.
people to have Ferraris. I'm asking for people to have healthcare.
Did Biden provide any of those things? It's just a
He
question.
expanded access to the ACA. Yes.
Yes.
So you seen all those things you just mentioned under Biden, right?
No, we didn't get to the point specifically that we'd want from it because Republicans consistently vote against policies to be able to expand access to the ACA or expand public option programs. Right? Biden, if he got everything that he wanted, he would have done a full public option according to what he said.
Can you name one bill, just one bill that Republicans have passed within the last 60 years that overwhelmingly benefited everyday Americans to actually progress the country? Just one.
Uh, can I ask you a question?
Well, first, if you want to say no, and then you can move on, then sure, because the answer is
Because
no.
I don't
but
know.
sure.
Because no, you can say the answer is no.
No,
I
no.
just
I mean, I'm not even
No.
like seriously.
no, like you can say it is no, but I haven't done the research on that. There's
Well, I
probably
mean,
many-
I'm okay, cool. I'm
there's
telling you the
probably
answer is
many
no.
I
Go
can
do your
find.
research. The actual answer is no.
I,
It's
from you,
no.
okay.
And like look it up. There hasn't been one actual bill that the Republican Party has passed within the last 60 years that has overwhelmingly benefited everyday Americans. Like they don't pass legislation to benefit Americans. They don't actually do anything that benefits everyday Americans. Everything that they do actually benefits a specific group of people, and it quite literally takes us backwards as a country.
What group of people is that, Santana?
Ultra wealthy. Ultra wealthy. Did you know
Donald
that
Trump?
Elon Musk?
Ultra wealthy, they make jobs, right?
You guys love caping for billionaires, and it's weird.
I just want to
But do
let you
they?
know. I just want to let you know that profit incentive exists, and someone else would have come to go make that money anyway. So when you say that they make money, they make jobs, right? What you're not understanding is that the labor market, right, existing in the manner in which it was, with the level of demand there is what created the job. The demand is what generated the job. This is what conservatives can't fucking understand, right?
No, I get
The
you on that. I get
demand
you.
generates, right, the incentive for the jobs to exist. It's not the supplier that created that incentive. The supplier
not-
only responds to that incentive.
Okay, the demand can be there, but somebody has to also create something to be
You mean
consumed.
someone has to exploit it? Yeah, you're right. That's what billionaires.
Someone
Why
has
does
to
it
make
always
someone
have to
has to
be-
make money off of it, and someone will because they can make money off of it.
But why does it always have to be exploitation, though? Like, why does it have to be?
Because
Well,
in
it
order
depends
to-
on how you're defining it. Like in a Marxian sense of exploitation, you wouldn't consider all of the situations unjust under a Marxian sense of exploitation.
So
Okay.
what
Like
Santana
there are
just said-
wait, like for I'll give you an example. Like there's certain employment conditions that exist, right, that meet the set of criteria for a Marxian sense of exploitation that we think totally makes sense. For example, if there's a doctor that's under a business owner, right, and they make fucking $800,000 a year, we probably think that's not exploitation in a general sense, but under a Marxian sense of exploitation, it's still considered exploitation because it is the case that there's a business owner, a capital owner that is in an employer relationship, where the capital owner will make money off of the productive labor, specifically of the employee.
Yeah, I get you.
They
on
make
that.
the profit from it, and then they pay a salary, a certain wage to the employee. So that's the
So-
Marxian sense of exploitation that they're referencing right now. If you're saying exploitation in terms of unjustly treated, well, then we can talk about it under that sense, but we just need to be clear with how we're referencing the terms.
Absolutely.
Okay, so under the Marxian term, then Santana's what he said earlier about Ohio, they were exploiting those people then.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
oh.
they literally
Really?
they were, but it was beneficial to both parties.
Okay. Oh wow.
Was it not?
No, that's interesting though.
Was
that you
was
say
it beneficial to both parties? Yes or no?
that. Yeah, bro.
Okay,
But you
then.
just said
What are
that.
What are we
That's
talking?
wrong.
Again, I don't
No,
cape
no,
for
this is
billionaires.
crazy, yo. Santana,
Yeah,
can I
but wait,
say
hold on.
something?
I need you to understand this. I don't cape for billionaires. I don't
But
cape for
Santana,
billionaires.
how
I
can
don't
you?
think there should be billionaires where there's people living on the streets who can't eat.
I
People
get it.
walking around with no shoes on, who you have kids that are hungry in the summer because they can't eat. No, I don't think there should be billionaires when people in our country can't live on a day-to-day basis. So yes, it's exploitation. I don't care how good the billionaire is or how beneficial it is in other instances. It's still exploitation to me.
Okay, so
and,
right
and
now,
also, I just want to clarify, Santana is using it in the sense in which there's an unjust relation, because this isn't necessarily only in a Marxian sense. It's only given the case that there is like a billionaire, because it is the case that billionaires, in order to
Oh,
get to
I'ma
that
get you.
specific level of wealth, right, would have to engage in some sort of unjust relation to be able to get there. That's at least the claim and the argument that's being made, right? And so, do you have a
Okay.
response to that argument?
I do. So, firstly, Santana, I appreciate you being in your feels and poom pooms, however you
It's
call
called
them.
fifis and your tom
Yeah,
toms.
you
If
was in
you
your
can't get my
you was in your
catchphrase right,
fifis
don't
and
say
tom-toms.
it.
No, don't see you be in your feels. That's crazy. Don't
If
do that.
fifis, if you can't say my catchphrase right, don't try it.
Oh, look at him. He's emotional now.
I hear you.
Anyways, the left. It don't even have to go there. I'm trying to joke with you, and you don't say it. My
No, I'm just
catchphrase.
saying, no, I said if you're gonna mess up my
Fuck outta
catchphrase,
here.
if you're gonna mess up
Anyway,
my
fuck
catchphrase,
out
don't
of
do
here.
it.
Fuck out of here,
Listen,
Goofy. Anyway,
Listen,
like you said earlier, the
now
government.
you're crashing out.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm in my
You're
fifi
upset.
state, just like you. Fuck out of here.
You're
Anyway,
upset. Oh,
you
you're
said
big mad.
you said
It's
that the
okay.
government was bringing in the migrants into the place, the Springfield, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You just agreed that they exploited those people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like billionaires unless if they have a different name. The government can be acting as a billionaire in that situation, exploiting the work of the Haitian migrants, but you support it.
Yeah.
You're a hypocrite.
No, you don't understand things. That's
No,
why
I
you think
completely
that.
understand you.
No,
I
you
completely
don't.
understand.
You don't, because again, like I said, it is still exploitation, even though it's mutually beneficial. You don't understand things.
Yeah. So,
do you understand what the term mutually beneficial means? Cool.
hello? Is he there?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
He asked you a question. Can you explain what mutually beneficial is?
Yeah, both sides can gain something positive out of whatever decision we're making together, or whatever comes.
Both sides net positive. Yeah.
Yeah, like an agreement. You both get something out of it.
So yes, I do think there's a level of exploitation, but it's mutually beneficial to both parties. And so again, there's a difference between that in a sense that yes, it's the government, and the sense of one person, a billionaire like Elon Musk, who is, or Jeff Bezos, where they don't justly compensate their employees. Or even you talk about like Walmart, like most of Walmart employees have to file for SNAP benefits because Walmart won't pay a living wage. Like that's a huge difference.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
But that's what I'm talking about. Those are different things.
Yeah, I hate that for Walmart employees, and I think that the corporation should obviously pay more.
Do you see how they don't have an incentive to increase the wages of their workers unless they make money off of it? And do you see as to why now we rely on certain types of regulations in order to ensure that corporations act certain ways? Because otherwise, they're going to care more about the money that they make than basic human decency. And again, we need to ensure from a governmental perspective that there's basic human decency. Because otherwise, dude, you're just going to have such horrible conditions, and you don't want your children growing up, right, in conditions in which they would have to work in those conditions, right? You don't want their children to have to grow up in that. And again, it's ridiculous. People having this in their head that they're going to become rich, they're going to have so much generational wealth that like none of their children are going to have to deal with that. When in reality, after a few generations, it is the case that it equalizes. So I promise you, at some point, you or the fucking people that come after you that you spawn into existence, if you have children, right, will be affected by that policy. That's why actually advocating for policy that's beneficial for everyone and takes into account every single person is to best to ensure that everyone is treated with compassion, empathy, dignity, and fucking respect, like they should be as a human fucking being. You know what I mean? Like what we should care about each other as a community. You know what I mean? That's the point that I'm having these conversations for, is because I care about this country. I care about other people. I don't want bad things to happen to them. I think it's fucking treacherous, a bunch of the things that happen in this country, that people have lack of access to health insurance and fucking die because of it. There are people that die in this country that because they don't have basic bare necessities that we should be providing. There are people who are living homeless in this country because we don't provide an adequate place for them to live, right? In the richest country in the history of the world, when we could easily do so.
And then Jeff Bezos rents out. Was it? Where did he rent out? Somewhere in Rome or Italy or something.
His wedding. Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on now. Like, that's wild, and people literally can't eat.
Yeah, I don't stand for that type of stuff, Santana. Like, I get it. I'm like more in the middle though, because we are the capitalist country, so you kind of have to concede that it's not always going to be, you know, everybody having everything. You have insurance. This person has that. We do have to
By
fight.
the way, wait, are you saying that? Are you saying it's socialist to advocate for universal health care?
I think it's a socialist idea, but I don't think that's
well. Not all socialist ideas are bad, right?
Yeah, correct.
For example, where did the fucking work weekend come from? Socialist ideas.
Yeah.
Where did the 40-hour work week come from? Socialist ideas, right?
Yeah,
So you understand that a lot of the shit that you fucking think is amazing come from socialist ideas and aren't bad things. There's some level of ideas that come from socialists that aren't bad, right? That we commonly accept within society and we commonly understand to be good. And there are some elements of capitalism that are really bad, right? But I just want to acknowledge this. These are socialist ideas, and that's different from what socialism as an economic system is. A lot of people mistake socialist ideas, right, with socialism. Those are distinct. The same way capitalist ideas are different from capitalism.
Okay, so you will call for a mix of the both.
Well, there are going to be a mix of socialist ideas and capitalist ideas within the context of a system that I think is beneficial, right? A social democracy, right? So there are some levels of capitalism that will exist, of course, but it is the case that we want to provide the bare necessities for everyone. Point blank, period. We can talk about you getting extra shit on top of the fact that everyone in the community is taken care of. I feel like that's what the whole point of an economic system is to ensure everyone's taken care of. And then we could talk about the fucking yachts and the vacations to like the seventh place for the year, you know, things like that, right? For the billionaires, right?
What could Trump do to make you like happy with him or say that he did good? Is there anything that he's done like at all up to this point?
Wait, say that one more time.
Is there anything that Trump has done like good in your opinion? In his
Operation Warp Speed.
No, he means this term.
This term. Within the big beautiful bill, there's an increase to the child tax credit from 1,000 to 2,000. The AI deepfake thing, specifically, where they go after like people who specifically are creating deepfakes and news.
Wait, did that get passed?
I respect you.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure
that is a good thing. That's like a really good thing.
like there are certain things I can point to that are good, but it's overwhelmingly bad. Acknowledging the good is important, but acknowledging that there is an overwhelming level of bad, and that every single good point you point to, Democrats also fucking advocate for. The no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, everyone's gonna advocate for that. That's bipartisan, right? They increased the child tax credit. Democrats wanted to do even more. Okay. So like everything that you're referencing that you can say is slightly good, right? Yeah, of course, that's better with Democrats. It's like saying it's good that Trump supports some level of Social Security. Of course, I think it's good that he supports some level of Social Security, but like, you know, we're comparing one side to the other. We would only point to things that would uniquely set one side away from the other side. Does it make sense? Like otherwise it would be the same for both of them. There's no difference.
It makes sense, but I'm still, you asked me earlier, do I feel the same about my vote now? And I still do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll ask you this question. Would you vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Nope.
You wouldn't? Well, Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, so you clearly don't support him anymore, do you?
Oh my God, Parker, good one. You said that too fast. No, you said that. No, I don't support that. I don't support that.
You don't support Donald Trump anymore. Because it was 9 jury members unanimously determined that Donald Trump forcefully penetrated E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. 9 jury members, people that were selected by Donald Trump's lawyers as well.
And also, just the FYI, Donald Trump and his team, while president, tried to appeal the case, and they said no, you're guilty. Like he couldn't even win an appeal on it.
Okay. We got the $5 million on it. The jury couldn't find Trump sexually abused Carol solely based on a non-consensual kiss without.
What? I don't know what you're reading
Well,
that from. That's just not true. It was
oh, this
determined
says
that
US.
it was determined that her vagina was forcibly penetrated against her will by unanimous
Oh,
decision from the jury.
yeah, I just read that. I don't know where you guys get your information from, man. This is USA Today.
Where are you reading this from? USA. What's the title?
The title is "Did Trump Grape E. Jane Carroll?" Here's what a jury and judge said.
Yeah, what does the judge say?
So a jury. I'm gonna just read it. out. The former president made hay of that distinction when he sued Carroll in June.
Federal Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled in August that the jury verdict showed Carroll's rape allegation was substantially true.
It's literally right there.
That's literally like the third fucking thing.
It's literally right there. It's literally there.
Okay, Road Carpenter jury verdict shows.
I'm serious. It's literally
It's
like the fourth block of
I got
text. Yeah.
I got you. All right. I'm not going to just stand on bullshit. All right, it is what it is. Yeah, I still support Trump.
You just said that you wouldn't.
Okay, I have a question. Would you support Donald Trump if the victim were a child?
Hell no, bro.
Okay, so what's the relevant difference between the victim being an adult and the victim being a child in reference to grape? That means that you would support and vote for a candidate in one scenario, but not the other.
Oh man, I don't support none of that shit, man. This is all bad.
So then stop supporting Donald Trump. You clearly don't support him anymore, right?
No, I support some of the policy. I don't support that action at all.
Okay, but like you would be willing to not support a candidate given that they've done this, right?
Yeah, I would. Just being honest. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay, so then you don't support Donald Trump anymore.
No, you're not gonna put me in that little question box and like.
I'm not putting you in a question box. I'm just saying that's the logical implication of what you just. Like, I'm not putting you in a question box. I'm just demonstrating that was the logical implication of what you said.
You literally said that.
This ain't good, man.
It's not. It's all bad,
and that's why we go on live every single day and we like debate people.
But why is he's suing her?
He fucking failed. Exactly. She sued him and won.
You know what's even wilder? If once you dig into it and you find out why he ended up being held civilly liable for grape, it's because he couldn't stop yapping and running his mouth and defaming her. Like she didn't even bring this to him. It was him. Like he brought this on himself.
Yeah.
Just like the Epstein files. Who in the hell screams, jumps up and down and says, release the Epstein's files, knowing that you're in the Epstein file? Like, why the fuck would you do that? It's the same. He does the same thing over and over and over. Like he knows he's guilty, but then he like flaps his big mouth. So and then what?
You think Trump's in the files guilty of doing something?
Wait, I'm sorry. Have you seen
Obama and them had the files earlier?
Oh, hold up. Watch this. I have a question. Do you think that the Epstein files are a hoax, like a Democratic hoax created by Obama, the Clintons, and like the Biden administration?
I don't think it's a hoax, but I think it could be something. I don't think the original is there. I think it could have been tampered with. I think it could be something going on from the left, added, taken out. I do. I don't think it's like a complete hoax. I'm not going.
Okay, that's what Donald Trump said. He said it was a complete hoax. Do you agree with him?
A complete hoax? No, I think that's BS.
Oh, okay. So then, do you think that Donald Trump is like lying about the files so that he doesn't have to release them?
No, I think Trump. I don't think Trump has the power to release them in the way he thought he did.
Really? He doesn't have the power? So can you explain to me why they were saying that he could?
Yeah, I think he was saying he could until he got his people in there to read what was in it.
Wasn't he already okay? He was already president, right? Especially when the investigation was undergoing in the first place. That's why he wished Ghislaine Maxwell when she was on trial for helping Epstein sex traffic children. Like literally, like he literally wished her well. And you're like, you know what, dude? That's my guy. What a guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, hold on. Let me just jump in. I'm sorry, Parker, and I don't know if any of your mods around, but they might want to get this pity pro person or whatever who's like
Oh, I got you.
spamming. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ro.
yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, they were just spamming hearts, everyone. Or X's, sorry, not hearts, X's. I don't know why.
Yeah, end of the day, I do not think Trump is guilty of anything. I think Elon Musk. Yeah, I don't. I just don't. I
So
think it
then-
would have
so-
been
so-
released, Santana. I think it would have been out. I just can't. I can't
Uh,
see it. I
I'm sorry.
really can't see
If
it.
it was any level of democratic hoax and they could just change whatever they can, why couldn't Trump do this and release it? If they had all the authority to change it, why doesn't Trump have the authority to release it?
But just a logical question. Like, why wouldn't, if he's in it, why wouldn't, like, is that not a valid question? Like, if he's truly in there guilty, do you not think that it will be out by now?
So you understand that it is the case that like we can point to things that like, oh, he probably could have changed it prior to Democrats getting it in the first place, right? Or it is the case that like, right, if it does exist, right, and it does implicate any Democrats, and Democrats didn't specifically give it out, and that was true, I wouldn't support any of the Democrats that did that. I would say I don't support them. Would you say that about the candidate? Like, would you say that with Trump?
Yeah, I can stand on that.
Okay.
I don't
Well, then
support that. That's what I'm saying. That's why his supporters
obviously,
are
but like I
divided.
just want to acknowledge the reality that I mean, Trump's behavior here is fucking really weird.
Yeah.
Like, why did
Yeah, it's
why did
really
Pam Bondi say it was on her desk?
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't on her desk. Yeah, that's the
Why
problem.
did they release the phase 1 of the Epstein files to people who are MAGA influencers?
Why is the FBI and deputy FBI director like contemplating quitting because they won't release it?
Yeah, that's where we're divided, Santana, because I think them two, they really wanted to do it, and you seen the interview they had, so it's like they look like a deer in headlights. That's
No,
what I'm
it's
saying.
because like I think that the Trump administration is made up of like grifters. They're made of people who have self-serving interests. They have
True,
it's made up of like loyalists. It's a whole weird mesh. And
true.
those two happen to be like loudmouth podcasters who specifically ran on something that they believed in. And
Yeah.
they're literally leaning into those things that they believe in. And those things are being actually contradicted by Donald Trump at the very
Yes.
top.
Yeah, yeah. This is where we having that big difference. And I'm gonna be honest, if Trump doesn't get them out, he's gonna lose a lot of supporters, a lot. Trust me. So
Actually, here's my question: if Trump's claiming that the Epstein files didn't exist, how come they're also a Democratic hoax? Can we like make that make sense for like real quick? Like, what the fuck?
They're not real, but the Democrats made them up.
Like what?
Yeah. I mean, it's all suspicious. I'm not trying to just be standing on stupidity here. I don't agree with that. I don't like it. He sounds like an idiot with that part.
It's not just sounding like an idiot. It's could be implicated in protecting pedophiles, right? Why is he doing this? There's like seriously, there's no reasonable explanation.
Unless he doesn't have the power that everybody think he has. It's always the shadow government thing everybody's talking about. Everybody's saying this.
So why doesn't he say that the shadow so then why doesn't he say the shadow government is limiting him from doing this? Didn't you like that he was so transparent? I thought his entire candidacy was about transparency. When he's a 30,000 confirmed lie candidate in his first administration, cheated on every single one of his wives. He thought this guy wasn't going to lie and con you.
Yeah, those. Yeah, I mean that doesn't hold any weight for me, like cheating and all that stuff.
What?
That don't hold no weight for me.
No, I'm saying he's a liar.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't wait. Why doesn't it hold any weight for you?
Yeah, well, like cheating.
You don't think it's bad?
Cheating on every one of his wives?
Yeah, you don't think that's bad?
I think it's bad, but that doesn't. Yeah, doesn't hold as much weight.
Family values,
protecting
children.
All his kids seem to like him.
Yeah, he said he would date his daughter. If it wasn't his daughter, he said, yeah, to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass. He said he has sex in common with his daughter.
Yeah, the Howard Stern show interview was definitely weird, but I think you guys take it just you guys make it weirder.
What he
Trump
said,
makes it
dude,
weird.
what? He said, yeah, to Howard Stern, calling his daughter a piece of ass. Did you hear what came out of my mouth?
Yeah, I read it too. Yeah.
That's not weird to you.
That is weird. That's weird. That's
Okay,
weird.
then what are we talking about?
Do you have a sister?
What was that?
Do you have a sister?
Yeah, I have a sister.
If your dad said that about your sister, what would you think?
Yeah, you fucking weird.
Dude, yeah, like, hello?
Is he a pedophile though for that?
He said if your dad said he would date your own daughter if he wasn't his daughter, and he said he had sex in common with his daughter, and he said yeah to someone calling his daughter a piece of ass.
It's weird, Parker, but I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, how about we add this one in there? He was
YTV
best buds, according to Epstein, with him for
Best
over a
friends.
decade. He also said that Epstein's a terrific guy and that he likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side. He also said that he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. He also bragged about walking in the changing rooms of girls in Miss USA because he quote unquote owns the place to inspect them without their consent. There was an 18-year-old that came out that said there was 4 girls that were in those changing rooms where Donald Trump would barge in, right? That were as young as 15 years old. Okay. Dude,
And
that's his fucking pattern of behavior. Hello?
And let's not forget the amount that he's partied with Diddy. Not saying that he's been to Diddy parties, but he's partied with Diddy a lot. And he even floated the idea of pardoning Diddy. He talked about whether he would consider I'm fucking up. Anyway, like him and Diddy are close.
But do you
Pardoning.
think?
Holy shit, pardoning.
You got
Before
it.
politics, he was a New York, real estate running around. That doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
He could party with anybody.
Exactly. But think about the people that he partied with.
He would have been, listen, as much as they want to get Trump so bad, I guarantee if he had anything with Diddy, any of these people, it would have came out. Trump was the only person.
It's dropping right now, buddy. It's literally dropping as we speak.
And I can't wait. I can't wait for you to put the sock in your mouth after this one.
Really? Really? I can't wait to see if you still support. Would you support him if it's true?
I would throw this fucking. I would change my profile picture quickly. I would not.
Okay. So the fact that I just want to say the fact that it took till now is nuts. Like seriously, dude.
For it to be released, or
the fact that it took until this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. It should have already came out. They pressed us. They lied to the people.
No, I think what Parker's saying is like for this to be the line of demarcation for you guys is wild, right?
I got you.
All the other stuff that's happened, like after all the other stuff, not only that Donald Trump has done, been found liable or guilty of, Donald Trump, the people he's associated with, like all of the everything. It took
because this is the
thing.
Like I get it, but it's just there's no hardcore evidence of these things, and there's always
there is literally he was convicted of rape. He was literally convicted of rape. He literally has 34 felony. He tried to overthrow the government. He did all of these, and you voted for him again.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? January 6th? That's him? Did he not tell them to come peacefully?
He told him.
Wait. Do you think
how did he try to overthrow them?
Hey, I think it's an indefensible position to say that he did not condone, or that he did not condone the political violence that happened on January 6th. Okay, it is a fact of reality, and I will explain to you why. It is the most indefensible position for you to say this. This is why, right? Because it is the case that he pardoned violent rioters on January 6th who beat police officers. He pardoned them. They were convicted of it, and he pardoned them. Okay? If it is the case that he disagreed with the violence, why did he pardon the violent rioters?
Did he incite it? Was my point though.
Why did he pardon them?
I don't know.
If he didn't like the actions of violence, why did he pardon them?
Why did he pardon Larry Hoover? I don't know.
Hey, wait, if Joe Biden,
why did Biden pardon Hunter? I don't know.
Wait, did Joe Biden pardon anyone who was violent?
Yeah, Hunter.
Hunter was not convicted of a violent crime.
Yeah, I don't know exactly if he had any violent crime people that he pardoned.
So again, here's the point: is that again, if it was the case that Joe Biden pardoned people who were a part of violent riots, would you say that he's condoning people engaging in those violent riots?
I'm trying to be how you, I don't know.
You're trying to
Yeah.
figure out a way to defend him still. That's
No,
what
I'm
you're
trying to
to
be
do.
honest, man. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be honest because it depends on what it was. So let's say like BLM happened, right? And some situations happened and it got violent, and Joe Biden ended up pardoning those people. I may have an understanding of why he did that for them. You know what I mean?
But how can you like? You do
Parker, why
understand
you-
that
Well,
these
would you
people-
say that he condones it then by pardoning them?
Condone the violence. I guess you could, but maybe if it, maybe definitionally, maybe yeah, but
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm saying. Donald Trump pardoned the violence on January 6th. That means he condones it. He's totally okay with it.
can you give me the equation with like a BLM riot? So is that not the same thing?
no.
No, not even because I mean, like, okay, think about it this way, dude. Donald Trump literally sent people to the Capitol, and then after they committed violence at the Capitol, due to his request to go to the Capitol, he then fucking pardoned the people who engage in the violence. You cannot sit there and tell me. No. Think about this for a second. You cannot sit there and tell me that he did not condone the violence after pardoning the people who did the violence.
And
Think about it for a second. I don't know why I have to keep saying this.
and
Parker,
even take a
framing it.
Hold on. Take a step back and think about this. They took a gallows. They screamed, "Hang Mike Pence." They were literally smearing shit on the walls at the Capitol building. They hung the Confederate flag inside of the United States Capitol. They were there to unalive senators and the vice president. And you're talking about BLM, quote unquote, riots where there was property damage. They literally tried to unalive senators and the vice president.
Yeah, I think you're taking it way too far.
No. They
Because
did these things.
You're saying that you said Trump invited the people to this place.
How about this?
told
How about
them-
this? Donald Trump pardoned
that
Donald Trump pardoned DJ Rodriguez, who took a stun gun and drove it to the neck of a police officer. Do you support that? Do you support that? He literally pardoned someone who took a stun gun and drove it into the neck of a police officer. How about a guy that stomped on a police officer's head? How about that one?
Real? Are you still
Back
there?
the blue. Oh, look at it, he ran away. Dude, I don't understand it. It's the most unhinged perspective ever. I wish I could debate MAGA on Jubilee about this one fucking argument. This is how I would frame it. I would frame it a little bit differently than other progressives would frame it. I would frame it this way. Donald Trump is pro-violent crime. Because you could say that there's some level of pro-crime by pardoning just people who have committed crimes, like from the Democratic perspective, but you can't say they pardon anyone who's committed a violent crime. First the galaxy, thank you so much. You can't do that. So that's how you should frame the argument. You should frame the argument Donald Trump is pro-violent crime because he pardoned people who engaged in violent riots. You could say Donald Trump is pro-violent riots.
But the problem is, though, he's pro-crime, period. I think he just loves crime. Like it's so much crime.
He is also pro-crime in general.
Oh, wow.
But I think it's optically better, especially against people in general who are on the far right, especially like on that Jubilee, right? To literally argue that to argue violent crime, right? That is just such an optically better argument for the typical individual that isn't accepting of it prior. Jones, thank you so much for the galaxy. Although I do agree that Trump is pro-crime in general, and like to an extreme extent.
As well, I don't know if you see this guy, Rock City or whatever. He desperately wants your attention.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's been spamming, bro. He's been spamming and requesting.
Do you support Donald
Santana,
Trump?
you're awesome, my man. I love hearing your insights. I love hearing you on. Parker,
Thank you.
I'm guessing that he agrees with us. Who is this person?
I don't know, but the chat has been going crazy. He keeps spamming the same thing. I'm assuming that he's in a request. Rock City.
I don't
Like
see
literally,
him.
Darla, thank you for the 5. Can you bring up Rock City or have him muted? And then again, Darling, thank you for the 2. Please tell Parker
Where
have
is
his
he?
mods block or mute Rock City. He's in the chat nonstop spamming like crazy.
I don't even
like,
see him.
I've seen him, and I've told him to get in a request.
Oh my God! People are telling us to block him.
Yeah, like he has been like.
Wait, I
nonstop
thought
spamming.
that's what their name was.
No, like he's been like super annoying. Like super annoying.
I didn't see them in the guest box. I was looking for them.
Yeah. Also, Brenda, thank you for the $5 YouTube super chat. Elizabeth, thank you for the $5 YouTube chat. And Jeremis, thank you for the $1.99 YouTube super chat.
I was so confused. I just didn't understand what people are saying.
He was
then
nonstop.
now I get it.
Nonstop. And I kept telling him, get in the box.
Yeah, hop in the box, bro. I'll debate you. What's up? How old are you? Here, let me thank some people quick. Sydney,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much, Parker. I'm so sorry about your dog. I lost 2 in less than a month. Coco, 19, and Ripley, 8 years old. So I understand. Good on you for keeping up the good fight. Sending love. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sydney. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so much, Sydney. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It was incredibly hard to deal with. It was. Like, I went back recently to my parents' house and just literally going and my dog's not there. Like, oh my God, bro. It felt so fucking weird.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah. It was so sad. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
35.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I guess.
If you could go back in time, either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who'd you vote for?
I'd probably vote for Trump still.
Why so?
I guess I know now. I've always known that it was probably not going to happen, but he was trying to at least try to get the war in Ukraine to end. Some type of
well, how come he's
peaceful
funding
solution.
Ukraine again?
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying he hasn't. He was the only one that was trying to de-escalate.
Wait,
compared to Kamala.
it didn't work because everyone already knew that they couldn't de-escalate, and
Well,
they were literally
here's my
telling them that.
here's my question
Zelensky
for
told
you.
them that months ago.
I
and
agree
he
with you.
yelled
I
at
agree,
Zelensky.
I agree with what you're saying, but in front of everybody, in front of your whole audience, here's my question for you: if there was a draft to go fight in Ukraine, would you do it?
Would I follow the draft?
Would you?
I don't want to do any
to
draft.
go fight. If there was a draft for America to go fight,
By the way, no, because
Russia,
that's World War III.
Would you do it?
That's World War III. No.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it's World War III.
So what? I'm just asking, Parker, would you serve your country and go fight in World War III in Ukraine?
If there's World War III, would I go to Ukraine to fight? No.
But you support the war?
I support funding Ukraine to defend themselves.
I don't think you understand.
According to the Budapest Memorandum.
Santana, I'm not asking you.
Yeah,
let me finish. According to the Budapest Memorandum, right? It is the case that we sign an agreement with them that if they give up their nuclear weapons, that we would defend
I get
them.
we, but
so
we
I totally
is then
agree with.
we is in who? American soldiers.
Yeah, I never said U.S. soldiers.
But you're not willing to go fight there.
I never said U.S. soldiers should go on boots on the ground.
So we shouldn't go boots on the ground and fight there?
No.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So you're totally anti any American troops there.
Yeah.
But do you understand why?
Yeah, because it's World
Santana,
War III.
hold up a second. So what if Russia starts steamrolling through Kyiv and is about to hit Poland? Which could happen.
If they're going to go to Poland, then NATO would get involved.
Which would be what?
Then NATO would
World War
respond.
III.
And by the way,
World War III.
if I think it's justified for NATO to respond to an attack from Russia, that doesn't mean I want to be involved in the military either.
But why wouldn't you want to
What?
serve your country?
I don't want to go into the military. I can serve
I'm
my
not
country.
asking about what you.
I want
Do
to
you
serve.
think
I don't
people
want
in
to
World
serve
War
my.
II
I don't want.
Parker, do you
I'm
think-
specifically.
Do you think everybody that was drafted?
I'm not built to be in the military, bro. Look at me. Hello.
Parker, but do you think everybody in World
Do
War
you
II,
see me, bro?
Parker? But do you think everybody in World War II was built to be in the military?
But the
I'm not
point
sure.
that you're trying to make.
We're at a different technological era.
Exactly.
Technological era and war.
No.
has nothing to do.
Your point is nonsensical. It's absolutely nonsensical because one, saying do we want to actually go fight in Ukraine? That doesn't make sense. No, because if we have to fight in Ukraine, boots on the ground, then yes, at least World
Santana,
War III.
do you
Hey,
think
still
you
speaking.
should
I've
support a
listened to you
war?
actually spew the weird
Santana,
stuff. Let
Santana.
me get no. Stop
Do
calling
you
my
think
name.
you should
Let
support
me
a
get my
war
point
you're
across.
unwilling to fight
Let
in?
me get my point across.
Should
The point
you
that I'm trying
support
to
a
make
war
is is we get to the point where we have to put boots on the ground, then that leads to World War III. Just because someone doesn't want to actually go fight there doesn't mean that we don't want to actually support
Santana,
our
would you
allies.
go?
And there's
Would
other
you go?
ways to support our allies besides
you
putting
go?
boots on the ground.
Wait,
What are you
Santana,
talking
would you
about?
go?
do you agree that we need to produce stuff in order for people in the military to use?
Santana, would
So
you
there would
go
at
to
least
war?
be there would at least be some people
Santana,
that
would you go
aren't.
fight?
So there would be at least be some people that aren't fighting in the military. So why wouldn't you just
I just
understand?
want to know
Why wouldn't you understand that people have different?
if I support a.
This guy's so insufferable.
He really is.
Are you done?
You guys support a war.
Is he done?
You won't fight
Let's
in a.
just see how long he
He's not.
goes. I'll wait. I'll seriously wait until you're done. Are you done yet?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to like talk.
Yeah, I will let you speak, but dude, you can't.
You
do
guys
this.
support a war you won't fight.
You did it again. I will let you speak, but you can't do it this way. Okay. I want to engage in a productive dialogue with you,
I'm
but this
ready
is
to
not
speak.
it.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay. Do you want to respond to
So
what I said?
can I finish a sentence before you mute me?
You were the one cutting us off.
You guys have monologues all day for hours. I'm asking you guys, why don't you support to go fight a war that you support? You won't do it. You're like, oh, I'm not ready to get drafted. Santana, I'm not ready to get drafted.
Who
But yet you
said
guys have
that?
all
You're-
these
the
ideas for
stuff
this
that you're
war.
saying is stupid. It's stupid.
Why
You
would
don't
you go-
understand how things work. It's stupid.
Let me
It's
explain.
stupid.
Let me explain. So I don't believe in the draft.
Won't go is what you're saying. You guys won't.
Shut the fuck up and listen. I'm trying to explain to you right
Parker,
now.
shut up. You like trans.
You see how he's just a fucking transphobe? Like, what a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick you from the live because you fucking did that.
Fuck.
By the way, I just want to explain to him because apparently he's not smart enough to understand this, right? Again, just because it is the case that you support, right? It is the case defending, right, the country, say like from an invasion, doesn't mean you would be involved, right, in that military response. Just because you support the U.S. military responding to something does not mean you should be involved in that response. And if you aren't involved in that response specifically, that isn't contradictory. I don't know what this argument specifically is in that. I also don't agree with the draft, right? So I don't think anyone should be forced to go in the military. I think that it should be a voluntary decision. Okay. And there are plenty of ways you can serve your country. You don't only have to serve your country through just one way. There are plenty of ways to serve your country. And I think that it's ridiculous for him to say that because I could ask him about any conflict he thinks it's justified to respond to. And then he would have to say under his own position that he would want to be involved in that, which is obviously something that he probably wouldn't say himself. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does say, he shouldn't say everyone else has to hold up to that same thing as well. Just because you want to go into the military doesn't mean everyone else should have to. Yosef, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
It's 06. December 27th, 06.
For sure. Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
And why is that?
I just think he aligns better with my religious and political views.
Which
Other than
ones?
Kamala.
Kamala.
I feel like he was a better candidate over her with my views.
Like which ones?
Well, my Christian views here. Obviously, Trump, I don't like him fully as a person.
Can I ask
like
you
more of
one
his-
question that I've never
Yeah,
heard a
go ahead.
good response to yet? Can you name one Christian norm that Donald Trump upholds more than Kamala Harris?
Abortion. Okay. He doesn't personally like
Okay.
abortion. He
Okay.
gave it up to the states.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Can you name a single Christian norm outside of the context of abortion that Donald Trump upholds more than Kamala Harris?
With that, it's probably honestly, so actually, yeah, it's gonna be the transgenderism and the gay. So
There's
personally,
nothing.
I
There's
don't have.
nothing in the Bible about trans people, and nothing
Oh,
specific.
there's
And what's
there's stuff
specifically
about
about gay people?
there is. It's from Leviticus. Do not lay with a man as you lay with a
So
woman.
then you accept Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, where God says you can own people as slaves and pass them down to your children as inherited property for life.
Yeah, that's completely different. Okay.
But like I'm sorry,
What?
Parker, I'll let you do this. You don't know the Bible. You don't. You don't, because the actual man lay with man, it's a translation. It was literally translated, and it was talking about being a PDF file. It wasn't talking about men with men. Also, the Bible isn't even anti abortion. They even tell you how to get an abortion in the Bible. So that's not even an actual Christian norm. That's just something that's been normalized since the 70s because they've tried to weaponize it against women. None of the actual points that you speak of when you talk about the Bible are upheld in the Bible. And then even if you want to talk about, quote unquote, transgender people, there are people, literally Jesus, it talks about how God values like Munichs and like there's so much to it, and you don't understand any of it. None of this is. I'm sorry, you got it, Parker.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question real quick?
So Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, God says you can own people as slaves, pass them down to your children as inherited property for life. If you accept Leviticus as literally fucking like moral law from God, an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-perfect being, well, then you're saying the perfect moral law includes owning people as property for life?
Okay, can I ask a question real quick? Because there was a topic that he was saying on it that I wanted to ask him about because he was saying to claim about the Bible. Then you started talking. Can I ask a question real quick?
Can you actually respond to me there? I'd love that.
So it's okay. Go ahead. Say it again.
Yeah, Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, God says you can own people as slaves and pass them down to your children as inherited property for life. Given that God's all-knowing, all-powerful, all good, and that this is the particular moral law of God in the context of Leviticus, well, then are you arguing that at that time it is the perfect moral law that you could own people as property for life?
So, of course, as we go through history, there is different norms that go through it. And at the time, of course, the norms were that people owned other people, slaves. Of course, we don't think that's okay, but
No,
that's what the
no,
norms were at the time.
you're not understanding. I'm not referencing that. I'm referencing the fact that God said it was okay in the context of Leviticus 25, 44 through 46.
There's many things that God said in the Old Testament that we don't uphold
Then,
now
okay. So please explain to me why you quoted Leviticus, right, as a reason as to why you said that being gay is wrong.
because that continues straight into the New Testament, not just in
Okay,
the
so
Old Testament.
tell me one verse in the New Testament, because I can tell you one verse in the New Testament where it says slaves obey your earthly masters.
Okay, I don't remember exactly right now, so why don't you go ahead and go?
Or we could reference Timothy 2:12, right? We could specifically reference how that says that women shouldn't be leaders in the context of the church, right? That's also in the context of the New Testament. Is that your moral law?
See, how I view it is that men, as like they are the leaders of the family, like they're the strong suit, they're the leaders of that, and they strive in that area. So I feel like yes, men strive more in that area. They tend to lead churches more.
Okay, so then no, you're arguing that like women shouldn't be leaders in the context of the church. Like, do you want me to read
There,
Timothy 2:12?
you can go ahead. Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Timothy 2:12 says, "I do not permit a woman to teach or assume authority over a man. She must be quiet." And that's in the
Okay, yes,
context of the church, by the way.
okay, yes. Like I was saying, how it has been for the many years, and it's not how it is now because we've changed a lot. It's that like men, we were the ones taking care of everything. We were the strong ones. We were providing for everyone. And as time goes on, we discover that we have like renormalized that women, yes, women are able to do stuff.
Here's my
Women
point.
are able.
Here's my point. If you can just simply write off the fact that like that was accepted in church history and act like that's not a part of the Bible, well then you should be able to do the same thing with people who are gay, right? Engaging in gay intercourse or like fornication, right, or things like that. Like there's no reason why it shouldn't apply to those types of things, right? Given that like we clearly don't have good reasons to consider them wrong.
So, okay, if I can say this, I don't have a problem with any gay people. You do you. It doesn't go along with my values, but I'm never going to put someone down for how they are. You can be that. You could. It doesn't matter your political view. Doesn't matter
You
your
just said that you
sexuality.
supported Donald Trump specifically because he has harmful views towards gay people and trans
I didn't
people.
say harmful views. I said he took that stuff out of being forced onto people.
How is it
See,
forced onto
and
people? Can you please explain to me?
So if you notice during the Biden administration, there was gay pride flags hanging from the White House.
Wait. So you mean people having representation is actually forcing things on them?
It's being forced onto you when there's a fucking rainbow flag at the White House. You're such a fucking joke. I'm sorry. I can't even fucking believe that's what you're complaining about. Oh my God, that's not it being forced on you, you fucking genius. You know what it actually is being forced on you? When you stigmatize gay people for being gay, right? And then force them into conditions where they have to say that they're straight or be in the closet in the very first place so they don't get fucking harmed or killed. I'm sorry. How about we reference that? How about we reference how fucking gay people throughout the context of history have been forced to be straight? And how actively you right now saying that they shouldn't be accepted, that there shouldn't be pride, right, is actively reinforcing that very same culture. You're the one advocating for sexuality to be forced on children, right? Not the people who are advocating for pride. That's you.
And if you really want to talk about being forced, I mean, you do understand that like poverty is being forced on Americans by this Trump administration. You understand that like a lack of health care because of the HHS secretary it's being forced on Americans. Like a lack of education is being forced on Americans because they're dismantling the Department of Education. You're talking about being forced, like they're literally forcing these things on us. But for some reason, you don't like seeing flags.
Yeah, so I have personally experienced like in culture nowadays of that stuff being forced onto kids, and I
How?
personally
How?
schools, the
How?
schools.
In what way? Tell me in what way in the schools how being gay and trans is being forced onto children.
Teachers, I have experienced teachers who literally are forcing that
How?
type of and
Like what?
my
What do they
English
tell me what they specifically did. Let's hear.
that talking about how that is normal for people.
Oh,
talking about it is
so they're just
forcing.
saying it's okay? That's it?
Yep.
No, my biology
saying-
teacher
Saying that
people
being
exist.
gay and being trans is okay is apparently forcing it on children. Are you kidding me? What? How is saying something is okay forcing it on children?
not letting me finish is crazy. You go on, come on here, and you get mad at all these people for cutting you off, but then every time, if you notice, you cut them off all the time.
Stop crying and make your point. We're quiet.
What am I crying about? All right, I just want to say this before we continue.
Those were both for fun. That was so fun. That was so fun.
Okay. Now I would like to say I do like appreciate.
Okay, I'm done. I'm actually done. I'm actually
so
done.
petty.
Okay.
I'm so done.
I do really actually appreciate what you guys are.
I had to do it one more time. That was it.
Obviously,
I'm
with,
actually
like,
done.
Nowadays, I really appreciate how you have the freedom and you can come on here, talk to people, and express how you feel to the entire world. And I do appreciate that you guys have the confidence and the capability to do this.
Thank you.
And I'm not the most educated. I have my beliefs, so thank you for coming down here and letting me talk. But I have my
listen. I appreciate you, and even more so, like I respect your beliefs. Can I be really honest with you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem that I have with people that use their religion as a shield is when you get on here and you start quoting Bible verses and you talk about like, quote unquote, forcing people. Like literally, if you were an actual Christian, someone that actually believed in, the red letters in the Bible and not, Jim Crow Jesus or anything like that, then you would actually live by what the Bible it speaks to. What most religions actually speak to: love and care and taking care of each other and doing the right things. But people use their religion as a sword, and they weaponize it against other people that they find to be different, and then they do so as justification for the harmful things that they're doing. So if you really were a Christian, if you were really someone that believed in the teachings of Jesus and things like that, then you would actually want to do the positive things that Jesus supposedly did in the Bible, not take away from others.
So yeah, I mean that's a very good point. And like I was saying earlier, I do not care. Like you can have your own sexuality, you can have your own views. that don't align with that, and I'm not going to treat you any different. I still love every single person. I may not believe that's the right thing, but I'm not going to put anyone down for that. I still love every single person. I think everyone has their own, like, needs their own things. And that was a very good point. But I mean, I'm not going to put anyone down for that.
I just when you start coming up and quoting Leviticus and specifically targeting people of the queer community, instead of thinking about how you can bring people closer to your religion, instead of trying to figure out how to be more inclusive and trying to take care of the people that are in need and welcoming the people that are the sojourner or whatever. Like, instead of doing those things, you're contradicting what Jesus literally taught. When you advocate, not saying you do, but like a lot of people who call themselves Christians advocate for billionaires, while the Bible specifically teaches about how it is easier for the camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get in heaven. Like, it's all of these things. Like, you guys contradict the teachings of the very foundation of your religion. It doesn't make sense.
With stuff like that, though, it's like you see some people that obviously every single person has their own struggles, and some people, there's a lot of people in religion that say they are, but they don't align with actually what is happening. And that's a lot of times what you guys end up seeing is you see the people that say they are religious, say they're Christian, but then they don't align themselves. They go party, they go have sex that's not like marriage. They don't align themselves with that
They go
stuff, even though
party. I'm sorry, what's wrong with partying under the Christian worldview?
just like the excessive drinking, the drugs, it's that type of stuff.
So you can party without that.
That's a lot of times what partying is, though.
Or if you're cool like me, you party with it.
For real, same.
Yes, you can do whatever you want like that.
Speaking of partying.
I don't know. I mean, like, I listen. The point that I'm gonna leave you with this book, like, no one's forcing things. The left isn't forcing things. Just because people on the left say that they want inclusion, just because people on the left say they want representation, just because people on the left says that everyone should have rights, does not mean that they're forcing that thing. Telling a kid, hey, gay people exist, queer people exist, it's okay. Sometimes some kids are going to have a mom and a dad. Sometimes some people are going to have two moms. Some of them may have two dads. Like, it's okay. That's all they're doing. And you know what? Kids are so smart and so understanding and so accepting. Once you actually talk to them about those things at an early age, then it normalizes the other people around them. So they're not actually growing up in an actual environment where they're being targeted because they're different, right? And they see someone else who doesn't have that quote unquote nuclear family like they do, and now they're specifically bullying or targeting them because they don't understand it, because they were taught by someone to be hateful. Like, hate is taught. It's taught. So if hate is taught, why can't we teach love in the same way? Why can't we teach understanding in the same way? And that's all this is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. Like, I don't think anyone should grow up with being hated on or being targeted just for the things that they do or the things they've been grown up around. That's a big part of the Bible and the Christian belief is you love everybody. You even if you don't like them, even if they hurt you, you still
Then
end up loving and
if that's
forgiving
the
them.
truth, then why would you vote for a man who said that he thinks that undocumented immigrants are varmint and they're poisoning the blood of American? And he literally comes out and says that he hates Democrats. He hates them. Like, how, if that's true, if this is supposed to be like the head of your party and he's supposed to represent at least the majority of the things that you stand for, and you talk about being a Christian, Donald Trump is the most anti-Christian candidate you guys have ever put up. Not only talking about all the marriages, but him cheating with a corn star. You can also talk about him, breaking the laws in multiple ways. Like, you can talk about him actually sexually exploiting people. You can talk about all of these things, but for some reason, you guys think that he's a Christian and moral man at the same time that he says he's never repented in his life. Like, that's the premise of Christianity, is being able to repent and make your way into heaven. Donald Trump said he's never repented because he's never done anything to repent. Like, how can you put him up?
So like I was saying when I first joined, I believe I like him like more than Kamala because of the fact that he aligned better with that view than Kamala's campaign did.
But again, like Parker said at the very beginning, there's nothing that you can say that actually lends itself to Donald Trump being more of a Christian than Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is an active Christian. Donald Trump uses it when it's beneficial. Kamala Harris practiced her faith.
I have not ever seen anything with her. In fact, at her rallies, she was putting down Jesus. Someone was
That's
screaming
not true. You
Jesus
were
is Lord, and she was
propagandized.
like, "You're at the
That's
wrong
not
rally."
true. You were
No,
propagandized.
there is more evidence of
It's
that. She
no,
literally
there's a
said, "You're at the wrong
video.
rally."
There's a video. It was edited. You can listen to the unedited video. She was saying, "You're not here. You're looking for the smaller rally down the street." It was them screaming lies, lies, lies. After they left out, they edited the video to make it seem as if they were saying Jesus is Lord. That's not what happened. You've been propagandized.
There is also many other
Yeah,
things.
she was just talking about the Trump rally down the street. Like that's all it was.
Was she though?
Yeah, obviously.
I've never
Like,
seen anything
she's
like
a Christian herself.
Yes.
She's more active in the church than Trump is by far. Trump couldn't name his favorite verse. Trump said he never asked God for forgiveness. This guy's fucking conning you in order to be able to get your votes. He does not give a shit about Christianity. There's no fucking way.
None.
I mean, name
Well-
one Christian norm outside of the context of abortion that he upholds more than Kamala Harris.
It was the gay stuff, but I'm not going to get back into
Okay,
that.
so then why is being gay wrong?
I'm not saying it's against the Bible, but I'm not saying I don't like them.
Wait, where in the
okay?
Bible?
I don't exactly remember exactly where in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. It's wrong. And I have no clue where in the Bible, but I promise you in the Bible it's wrong.
And
Do you know how big the
just
Bible is?
Yeah, just
Yeah, and apparently you
FYI,
haven't read it.
exactly. And maybe you should go back and look at the actual translation, because again, the Bible has been translated multiple times, but the original text was translated from talking about being a PDF file to gay marriage, or lying with another man, and it was actually changed in the 60s or 70s, one of the two. Like, it was more recent where they actually changed it for a specific narrative. It was talking about lying with kids, not other men.
Yeah, you cannot say the Bible is the reason why I want to like do this thing that's going to like harm people, but then also simultaneously not know what in the Bible is going to do that, is going to justify that. Like you actually have to know that. If you're going to say the law should be enforcing those norms on people, you should have to be able to refer to something, right?
So, okay, what I'm going to say with that is you can be a Christian and not know every single part of the Bible. I am actually a pretty new Christian. I gave my life a little over a year ago after I had a seizure, and God healed me from that. That is why I believe in him.
Okay.
So you don't have to remember.
And
like,
just to correct myself, I'm sorry, it was changed in 1946. I apologize. 1946 is when it was changed from kids to men not lie with other men.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, how do you know that it was God?
Because before that, okay, I mean, so I'm gonna go through this a little bit. At the time, I was working really hard to get this specific career I wanted to, which I was gonna go military. But then I had a seizure, got diagnosed with epilepsy,
Sorry to hear that.
okay, and completely canceled that. After I had that was when I first got into it. I have taken that as a way of God telling me I was not supposed to go into the military. I was not supposed to die in an airplane, and he wanted me to change my directions. And a sense of me getting following my religion, my brain scans have gotten 76% better.
Okay. How do you know that that's specifically relating to just the religious beliefs rather than like something that would
treatment.
have happened just medically?
Because I haven't
anyway?
taken medical treatment. I haven't taken medical treatment for it.
Well, even if it is the case that you haven't taken medical treatment, then that would be natural recovery. How do you know that it wasn't just natural recovery?
Epilepsy, if you don't know, it actually doesn't develop. It doesn't get better. Like it's very
That's
very.
that's not what I meant. That's not what I'm claiming. I'm just claiming that like in terms of the level of of seizures that you're having, if that is going to decrease, you're saying that's like a level of recovery, right? In terms of decreasing of the level of seizures, right? If you're associating that decrease in the level of seizures to, right, specifically your belief in God. And I would just say that it seems like to just be like a correlation causation fallacy, that it's just you're associating two factors to be the case. And kind of also like a God of the gaps fallacy, like you don't have an explanation for it yourself, so you're kind of just assuming it's God. Does that
So,
make sense?
like I was gonna say, epilepsy, if you don't know, it doesn't actually you can't really get rid of it if you unless you like have it before you go through puberty. Your brain doesn't like I don't know what it is with it, but it doesn't like go away if you like start having it after puberty. That's why there's so many adults with
I'm not
epilepsy that won't.
I'm not claiming even. Are you saying that like you don't have epilepsy anymore?
I'm saying I've been healed from it because of God.
You don't have any epilepsy?
I've been healed. I have not had a seizure in over a year because of God.
Okay. Again, how do you know that that's specifically because of God? Is it just because two things are associated?
Because of prayer. And because of prayer, it's just like God, the voice of God, you know, after so long of like pray and stuff, like you,
Hey man, your prayers work. Can you pray for some other shit too? Could you like pray for like, like world peace, bro?
oh, I pray for this world every single day. It's part of my prayer. I pray every morning, I pray every night that this world heals, that more of these people will realize that we need to fight, that we don't need any of this crazy stuff that happens in the world.
So why do some prayers get answered and others don't?
Because some stuff doesn't so it helps people. So like for example, in the Bible, I think I can't remember which one it was, but one of the Jesus disciples wasn't healed on purpose for when he was preaching to people, and they would see he's still injured from his thing. Why didn't Jesus heal you? Because I believed in him and I don't need to be healed. I still
Okay.
believe in it. Like he didn't he like at the time it was like oh, you need to see it to believe it. And
Listen,
it's like
let me say this. Like, one, I'm happy to hear that you're doing better. I absolutely do, and I wish you continued success on your recovery. Right, I know that that's a serious medical condition, and I'm happy to hear that you're doing better today than you were before. With that being said, using your religion, listen, when we go through traumatic things, we look for many things to cling to in order to justify survival. And you're using your religion as validation for your recovery. And I'm not going to knock you for that. But what I am telling you is the premise that you're using, it has fundamental flaws in it, because understanding that yes, you pray but other people pray, and why is your prayer more important than someone else's prayer? Like, that doesn't make sense. And even more so when you start talking about the multitude of injustice that is actually happening, and people are really trying to use religion. Like, it's all, I'm telling you, it's all across the board. And so I'm not going to knock you for your religion. I'm also not going to knock you for your opinion. But what I am telling you is that weaponizing your religion to actually harm other people is not what the Bible teaches. It's not. I'm sorry. The Bible at no point tells us to hate or dislike or put down people that are immigrants or people that are part of the queer community. And that's not what the Bible says. And I'm not even knocking you for what you've heard from your religion, because I grew up as a Southern Baptist in the heart of the South. And then I became a non-denomination Christian. And like, even in college, I studied religion as well. And so, like, I get it, but I'm telling you, the basis of Christianity is not upheld by Donald Trump. It is not upheld by the Republican Party. They try to use it as a weapon because it sounds good, but they're at the same time going against the teachings of Jesus. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and so on that part with like the beginning part with you were saying how I'm clinging on to something. So that with that part, I'm not just clinging on to something here. I know for a fact that it is, and
How?
that
Substantiate that then.
because getting
No, no,
healed from
no.
epilepsy
No, no,
isn't
no.
something that
I
normally
need you to
happens. This
quantify
isn't
how
something.
your no, no, no. I need you to quantify how your religion healed you. I need you to actually prove it. Because let's be clear about this. Religion is not about proof. It's about faith. So don't tell me that you can actually prove it if you don't have concrete evidence. Religion is about faith, sight unseen. That's what religion is. Don't say that you can prove it because you can't prove religion.
Oh, guess what? I had faith in God, and I don't have seizures anymore.
Yeah, I'm not saying you said you can prove it. There's a difference between proof and faith.
The Bible is proof of God.
Okay,
There
who
is
wrote the Bible?
more. What?
Who wrote the Bible?
Many different people.
And so how do we know that it's true then?
How do you know that science books are true? They get written by
Because
people
they
and
have
get
evidence.
passed down.
Because they have evidence.
Exactly.
Wait.
The Bible has
objectively,
evidence.
objectively verifiable evidence. What evidence does the Bible have specifically for things like resurrection, for things like Jesus walking on water, turning water into wine? These are miraculous claims, things that are not grounded in empirical evidence and scientific fact and objective reality, things that we can verify objectively speaking. You're saying that something written in a book, right, just claimed is evidence to believe it to be true, bro. That's called a trust me, bro. I'm serious. Like, I'm serious. You got to acknowledge this. This is why people say they believe in things by faith without evidence. And I
Yes.
heavily critique that because I think that the inevitable reality of that is that there are going to be people that believe that aliens control the government and they have the same intellectual basis as you. People believe the earth is flat. They have the same intellectual basis as you. And I have to believe in something that has more intellectual basis than that. I can't just believe in things because I feel like it, right? For myself. Okay. Other people, I understand it makes them feel better and whatnot, but I don't think there's any intellectual basis to that. But again, there could be like some instrumentally like rational reason for it makes you feel better or something like that. But even then, I just think that there's so many like insane beliefs within the context of religion that I oftentimes like am against it. And I think that like really the only redeemable views when it comes to Christianity are like the liberal progressive views, ones that, aren't going to take those bad aspects of it, but they'll take the good. Like I like that church. Like I literally like I think that's cool. I think the progressive Christians doing that and providing counterculture in that is kind of cool as well. But like I also just like I think you have to be able to acknowledge the harmful aspects of it very clearly.
Also, Jesus was a communist, so there's that.
I'm not even going to go into that part, but
It's
so
true.
with
It's true.
with
It's
the
true. He
part of
wanted
the
people to
Bible
give back,
with you
give Caesar what is
Ah.
Caesar's. He rejected money. He traveled around without a passport. He traveled to different lands. He fed everybody who was hungry. Jesus was a hippie. He was a communist. Like it is what it is.
Can I ask him a question? If Jesus came to the country undocumented, would you deport Jesus?
that's completely different from how it was back then.
I'm just asking, would you deport Jesus?
If he came here illegally,
Yeah.
well, he's not a citizen of any country. So
So
that
exactly.
that's such a dumb argument.
No, I'm just asking, would you deport him?
No,
No, you wouldn't. Why not?
no, it's Jesus.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
It's
like,
God.
are you saying there's no like threats to like safety, security of the country, things like that?
From Jesus, yeah. There's
Did you do a
technically no
background check
threats.
on Jesus?
Yeah. Did you do a background check?
What?
You don't need to do a background check. Is that what you're saying?
It's Jesus. It's God. What do you?
There's a portion of Jesus' life that is unaccounted for. How do we know that he wasn't, in a T group at that time?
Are you talking about him as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus was born a normal human being. He went through normal human suffering.
Yeah,
He
but
went through normal human pain.
there's a portion of Jesus' life that's unaccounted for by the Bible. So how do we know what he was doing during that time? We need to run a background check.
My gosh, you are.
Yeah. How do you know this isn't the devil just like trying to make you think that he's Jesus in order to be able to get into the
Mhm.
country? Like you see, you got to have like an immigration process. This
Yep.
idea that you just want like an open border is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you guys are really good at twisting words.
I'm not twisting anything, dude. You're just trying to let people in
Yeah,
without
I mean,
any type of fucking
that's the point of
vetting.
debating.
You're trying to let people in the country without vetting them first. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
I'm
you
gonna go
won't
back
open
on what
borders
I
for
was
people
trying.
from
Oh
Nazareth?
my. I'm gonna go back on the topic what I was trying to say before you guys kept going. Jesus being resurrected, you were saying there's no proof of that. The only proof technically we do have is people saw him. People saw him 3 days later, risen from the dead. And if you're gonna say, well,
That's
you
like,
can't trust people,
it's seriously just a claim. These things were passed down word of mouth for generations prior to the fact that they were written down. So like the idea that you have like first person accounts for these types of things occurring is ridiculous. You wouldn't accept this evidence if it were literally someone trying to say that E. Jean Carroll, like for example, E. Jean Carroll, there's more evidence to indicate that she was assaulted by far, not even fucking close to any of these fucking Bible verses. I'm serious. To any of these claims for resurrection or anything like that. But you don't believe Eugene Carroll, but you do believe this, right? It's so like hyper specific what you choose to believe, right? It's really interesting.
I
would-
I honestly don't understand what you said, but whatever.
I would just say go
What
back
did
and
I
read
say
your
that was
Bible book
confusing?
more.
I said that you don't hold the same standard of evidence to other things. For example, with the E. Jean Carroll case, where Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll, there's way more evidence to justify that E. Jean Carroll was assaulted, right, than there is any of these particular things about resurrection in the context of the Bible. Nowhere
Okay,
near the same level of evidence.
so like I was saying, the only evidence we have of that Jesus was resurrected was people saw him. But at that same point, you could say, like, there's technically at that point, there's no evidence that Caesar technically existed because what? There's books about him. There's
Wait,
uh,
we're not disputing the idea that Jesus existed. We're disputing that he resurrected from the dead. I believe that Jesus existed. I believe that Jesus was crucified on the cross. I think there's historical evidence and reliable evidence to establish that to be the case. I don't think there's reliable evidence to establish resurrection. Now, so you specifically have to respond to that, because if there was a claim about fucking Julius Caesar resurrecting from the dead, I probably wouldn't believe that either.
Also, can we, at least focus on the standard of like what a miracle was back then, or even not even going back to biblical times, but like the Salem witch trials, right? I mean, they said if they threw a woman in the water and she floated, then she was a witch, and if she drowned, then she wasn't. Like, what's the burden of proof for a miracle? Like, what are we even talking about here? I'm sorry. Like, what are we doing?
oh man,
Like here's how I establish this. When we're looking at history, we're looking for the most probable thing to be the case. When we're looking at miracles, miracles are literally the least probable thing to occur. So the only way that something could be the least probable and the most probable is if it's the only possible explanation. Given that there are other logically possible explanations, we know that that's not the case.
but there is evidence that he was. People saw him. People wrote about him that he was. They saw him alive 3 days after he was crucified. They saw him alive.
Again, these are just
Who wrote
claims.
that?
They're claims. They're just claims.
Okay, at that point, you could say everything in the past 300, 200 years are just claims.
No,
None
it's
of us
not, because we
nowadays have
have
ever.
actual
You're
proof.
not understanding. They're not first
Hey, Matt.
person. They're not first person
I don't know.
accounts, right? It's like if I claim that there was 500 people saw a floating pig, would you believe that there was a floating pig?
That's completely different.
What's different? The floating pig existed. I promise you. 500 people saw it.
Parker, I thought you
Um,
said a floating head. I was about to say, are we getting swifty?
No. I was. Oh, geez, that's so funny.
That's a good one.
Just because you said that, yes, we are getting swifty. Okay,
We are
we're
getting
getting
swifty.
we're getting swifty.
hey Parker, can I say something?
Go ahead.
It's getting late. I do have to go, but I do want to say I appreciate you so much letting me come up here and talk a little bit, and I like you so much more than Dean. You were such a better debater, and you were so much nicer.
Tell me, why do you like me better than Dean?
He is so like I feel like he's a little more immature and like with his like rage baiting, with how people rage bait him, and he just flips off on it all the time. Also, I was trying to debate him earlier today, and I just instantly got blocked. I didn't do anything.
So you just got blocked and you're kind of mad.
Yeah, I wanted to debate him about some stuff, and he just blocked me. And you let me on here, so thank you so much.
Okay, so he only likes me because I let him on the live. Okay, that's not.
No, and I do appreciate
No, wait, hold on,
everything
hold
you
on.
do. You're a
Listen,
really good debater.
let's listen to Matt's point real quick.
Please.
Oh, sure. I mean, well, what point we talk about? So, I mean, you do know, right, Yak? That I mean, because you mentioned that you're like a new Christian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's very well held, and I don't know if you like care about this, but I hope you do. That like the Gospels were not written by the people who are that actually claim to be written by. So that there are no firsthand accounts. There are no people who we can say the closest that you'll get is Paul. Like Paul's the closest, but you won't get anywhere close to actually saying Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I mean, like Mark and Luke aren't even like there anyway. So like that doesn't even matter. So I mean, I just hope that you would like look into it maybe a little bit more before you make claims like that, because that's a kind of very easily disproven thing to like say. So I wouldn't even like try to make a claim like that without like reading some of the scholarship on it.
Mhm.
That's a very good point. Like I said, I am pretty new and I'm still studying the Bible, and I actually am going to be going to school to fully get like completely study the Bible and study religion. So I I am getting better into it and more educated into it.
Okay. All right.
Also, if you get the chance, read the book of Clarence as well. So
But like I was saying, I do have to go. But thank you so much, everyone, for letting me come on here. God bless you all. And
Oh yeah.
if anyone gets the chance to look up Jeremiah 29:11, God bless.
Bye bye. By the way, too, I think Santana made this point, and it's a very good point. But how I always say is, why is it? And Yak, I'm very happy that you are not having any type of major seizures anymore. But my always thing that I bring up: why are you so important to God, but millions of other people are not so important? Like that's what like I want somebody to answer for me. Like right now, somewhere there's a child dying of cancer. Why is God not curing that cancer versus he's helping Yak with his seizures? Like, please make that understand for me, because no one can answer that question for me about why miracles seem to be very selective. So, like, I want that to be answered.
he tried to talk about how like there's some standard of as far as what prayers get answered and what prayers don't get answered or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I just don't understand. Like, there are like actual verifiable Christians who are suffering right now at this very moment. Like somewhere, in the world, there's a hardcore Bible believing Christian who is suffering immensely, and yet they will die in pain. But yet, someone in I don't know, like Montana, will buy a brand new property and be like, "Thank you, Jesus, for this new property." Right? I mean, like that's the problem here, right? It's that it's that people will attribute miracles to things that really are not miracles at all, and that just kind of makes it to where it makes a mockery of the whole thing, because real people like actually suffer every day, and nothing they they never get any help despite them praying every single day.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. W
Uh,
Mats in the comment section. W Mats. I'm about to get off. I'm gonna be live early tomorrow. I'm gonna be live at like 9 a.m. So I'm literally gonna get
9
off.
a.m..
I'm gonna get off, go to sleep, get up, get ready, and go live.
and then get back on.
That's wild.
So
Can I say
that's
thank you to 3 people? real
go
quick?
ahead, absolutely.
I think it's pronounced Mia. Thank you for all that you do, giving hope for a better future. I commend your patience with the brainwash MAGA idiots. Thank you for the 5. Kelly, thank you for the 10. Appreciate what you do. And also, Jamie, thank you for the 1. No, I never served. But yeah, thank you so much for the $1 donation. You guys are awesome.
Alrighty, I think I have a lot to catch up on. Real
I'm sure you
quick.
have a
Hold up.
million that you got.
I'm
gonna get out of here, Parker. I
let me see.
appreciate you, Matt. I appreciate you more. I'll see you guys.
Yep.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Bye, Parker. Have a good night. Okay.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Yep. Bye.
All right, let me go through some. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so far behind. If I missed anyone's, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pop, thank you so much for the $2. Really appreciate it. Soul, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Soul. Nobody, thank you so much for the $5. Christopher with the $3. Thank you. Soul with the $5. Thank you. Sydney, thank you so much for the $20 again. Thank you. I think I did already actually catch up to that. Hold up. Deadpool, thank you so much for the $10. Fun, thank you so much for the $5. Baby, thank you for the $5. Lisa, thank you so much for the $2. Kat, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Sid with the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sid. Thank you. Seriously, though, it's actually ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous, though. Sid, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $50. Truth or W's for Sid in the comment section. Noah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you. I wish I would have saw that earlier. I don't know, remember what the context was. Addie, thank you so much for the $2. Steph, thank you so much for the $5. Soul, thank you for the $10. And Noah, thank you so much for the 200 THB. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Lovey, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. I do have to go to the bed. Yeah, I know. Lovey, thank you for the $20 as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I probably should go to sleep here. Thank you so much for the $5. And Lovey, again, thank you so much for appreciate the $5. I love everyone so much, everyone. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so tired. I will see everyone tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow early, everyone. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I tell you. That's when I'll be live. Laura, thank you for the $5. On Dime,